Somit, I think you are mute.
Yeah. So good afternoon, sir. So, and apart from that, if you see the competitors, there are several competitors like CCD, Barista, Costa Coffee. They are doing comparatively well, but there are some weaknesses as well. Like in Cafe Coffee, there are accessibility, lack of innovation. But in case of Starbucks, whether it is giving premiumness and ambience and taste, but higher price and confused menu is still persist as the major concern for the customers for adoption. And if we look at the market size estimation, Indian coffee market is around total accessible market for us around 32,800 to 35,000 crore, and our total serviceable obtainable market is around 4,500 crore. So we have on the basis of that and on the basis of research, we have identified our customer into three groups, like top of the and we have presented them in the top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and below the funnel. So we are basically targeting the curious urbanizer, because we see that 80% people are aware, but they are not visiting frequently. So we have to convert them from awareness stage to converting to frequently visitor stage, and followed by the value seekers and the cultural adopters who generally compares different kind of products from different cafe. But we have then we have to convert them from curiosity to preference stage. And but last but not the least, the curious, the local loyalists and micro influencer. They are already loyal, so we have to build upon their loyalty and use word of mouth through them to advertise our products. And we can see their market forecast. The estimated market size is around 35,000 crore, and CAGR in the recent years is around 11.56 crore. So we have many things to achieve now. So now I would like to request Prince to take this presentation forward.
Prince, you're on mute.
Prince, you're on mute. Prince?
Yeah, sorry, my bad. So now, moving on to the strategic solutions part, which was one of the major things that was going through our mind entirely while reading the case. The major problem was Starbucks, which is a very premium brand, wants to target to the lower segment, that is the tier 2 and tier 3 cities, and wants to expand the number of outlets that it has currently, that is around 500, and it wants to expand to around 1,000 plus stores in the next 3 years. So we were going through some of the research reports of BCG and McKinsey, where many of the premium brands were coming to the lower segments, and what were the type of strategies that they were adopting. And one of the first and the prominent ones that we found common across all these reports was going for a flanker brand. So we decided, why not go for a brand that is not directly associated, like that is not directly representing Starbucks as such, but at the same time, the customers will be getting cues that they are using a product that is a product of Tata Starbucks, basically. So we came up with a new brand that is Brew Lane, a product of Tata Starbucks. That is much on the affordable side, that is targeting the tier 2, tier 3 segments. This is much more towards the customers who are very much price sensitive, and it will also cater their needs as per their localized taste and anything. Now, our second solution is centralized production units. This will be the units where the ready-made products of the Starbucks will be there, and the common routes of Tata ecosystem, maybe for the Tata Cumin or the Tata SABs, whichever logistics is covering that particular route, will be taking those ready-made products to the small stores or the compact cafes, which we call a Brew Lane, so that there won't be any additional sort of investment in the production of the logistics part as such. We are cutting down on the logistics side by introducing the centralized production unit and using the Tata Fleet ecosystem as such. So now, moving on to the local sourcing part, as I mentioned before, we were targeting the common type of test that we'll be finding around the country, made with the east or west or north or south. The common type of, as I mentioned in the PPT itself, the Chikmagaluru coffee, the tea from Assam or jaggery from Maharashtra, any such thing that will be catering to the local flavor, to the local taste. At the same time, on the eco-friendly side, we'll be focusing on the cups, making it a bit eco-friendly, cutting down cost on it if possible. Now, moving on to the tiered expansion model, we'll be targeting the different tier, as we mentioned about the tier 2 and the tier 3 cities. So our primary target would be to reduce, to make it much more profitable, to be focusing on the unit economics most importantly, and accordingly making or creating the choices or creating the available menu that is much more affordable to the city we are currently in, and is also catering to the needs of the customers, that the customers are feeling that, yeah, we are using something premium, and also this is at much an affordable range. So in that way, it won't be directly affecting the image of Starbucks that people have in their mind in terms of the premiumness that Starbucks has. but at the same time, it will also be catering to the needs of the customers by being at a much affordable side, mainly the needs of the tier 2 and the tier 3 people. Now, moving on to the implementation across 5 years, my friend Ronit will carry on.
Okay. So as we explained the solution to implement this at first, we need some marketing strategies. And here we come with two marketing strategies. The first one will be a campaign that will be design your city dream, where we will ask consumers or do a competition where we can design, they can they can design their city drinks, and perhaps the drinks will be published as like created by the people or his name or the locality. So also we have the hyperlocal kiosks that will be presented around the high traffic areas that will create the buzz about the brew land and its offerings. The another one will be the in tier two, tier three students will be the major target. So we have the student community pass system where when the all the one member of the group is visit to the Brewland, then everyone will get a point. So by this we can create the hype in the market of the Brewland. Going to the implementation roadmap. So in the first year we will first build the CPU in the west and south region, and also made the logistics plans. In the second year, we are planning to launch the Blue Land pilot stores and also the marketing campaigns and all the reward system, loyalty program, etc. Going towards the expansion in year three and year four, we will introduce that 60 to 70% local, like localized sourcing, and expands the supply chain of CPU to a variety of 60 stores. Also, we will add two more CPUs around the fifth year, and the menu refreshment cycle will be going on throughout the plan by changing it. So, by these plans, we have identified some of the key performance indicator that will give us exact idea that how it is performing. So, one will be in 5 years, we will look over the COGS, which we plan to reduce by 5%, and the supply chain resilience and market penetration by 60%, while the quality conformance of product need to be 98.6% and the ROI around 25%. There will be some associated risks, and we have some plans to mitigate the risk. That will be quality consistency variation, where we plan to have some certified trainers and technical supports like others like localized disaster vulnerability, logistic and distribution failure, and capital expenditure. And here we forecast the financial indicators that after 5 years, we will be a EBITDA of a 17.5% and the net
Sorry to
profit will be
interrupt.
around
The time is up.
8.6.
Ronit, the time is
Yes,
up.
sir.
You
Thank you.
can take next 20 seconds if you want to wrap up.
Yes, sir. So the last point I would like to say that the break-even point will be around 1.5 year. That's all.
You have three
That's
more.
all.
You have three more slides, I guess. If you want, you can run through those as well. I can see 4 of 7.
Okay.
Yeah, so these are the appendixes. Basically, we have taken a projection of financial projection for the next 5 years, and we have also mentioned the sources that we have gone through or taken as reference while coming up with our solutions, and a small acknowledgement. So,
Good work done. So whenever someone gives, like the SAC coordinator is giving you an opportunity, please take it. So may I ask questions, SAC, or can I start? Yes,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes.
Okay, thank you. So first of all, I'll start with what we did good. I'll just take a minute and then I'll ask it two questions only. You
Right.
did good. Depth of analysis is good. You mentioned 150 stores survey. You also talked a bit about premium affordable brew lane as a brand. Why did you choose to focus on cost leadership? I can see supply chain cost. We're trying to squeeze out the supply chain cost. We're trying to squeeze out the cost from the hyperlocal to have foods available locally available stuff. So why do you feel cost leadership is a good strategy for Starbucks to penetrate in tier two? Why did you choose cost leadership? There are three types of strategy, right? So why did you feel
Right,
that
right.
is the best way?
Speaking about the cost leadership part, so I initially think that the primary thing that Starbucks was targeting, or in the case that we were mentioned, was to keep in focus about the unit economics as such. So keeping in focus the unit economics part, we thought why not focus on the particular part of cost leadership, where it's a small amount of differentiation that is also mentioned in here that we are launching a brand that is indirectly or in a subtle way associated with Starbucks that will be giving a premier feeling to the customers who will be using the same, but at the same time will be also cutting
Understood.
down the
Understood.
cost.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sorry for
right.
interrupting. I only have 2 more minutes. I want second point as well. You mentioned you will
That's
change the menu every 6 months. Just
right.
by curious, have you checked like how expensive is it to change a menu and standardize it across 1,000 stores or 500 stores now? Have you done some kind of any research or study?
So we have, but I think around at the same time, expanding or changing the menu across all the stores won't be something that would be feasible. But we'll be targeting those main areas mainly which are having higher profitability, and there would be higher demand in certain terms of tastes or the people that the demand is higher for certain types of products. We'll be mainly targeting those areas, and eventually we may expand some of the famous products of those particular areas to other or making it something
Understood.
that is common across all the
Understood.
material. Yes, sir.
Understood
Right,
that you
sir.
have done the third part. Have you checked the Starbucks app on your Android or iPhone? The rewards you can top it up. Have you done any study of how much money it brings to Starbucks?
So we
And
have gone through their website, but as far
no
as the app
problem.
is concerned,
No
yes,
problem.
sir. Yeah,
That's perfectly fine.
right, sir.
Finally, before I let you folks go, can you go to the next slide, please? The strategic solution. That's really
Somajit, please. Yes.
uh, next, next,
Somajit,
next.
that is not moving.
We don't have time. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, here,
So the yes,
here
yes.
also fine. You said in 2 years you'll do break even, but you'll only launch two CPUs. So two CPUs will help you break even.
If we target those areas which are having higher demand, or we are thinking that it is much more potential in terms of the tier two, if we talk about the east part of Bhubaneswar, which is a growing region, if we target those areas in the first year itself, then we think by 2 years we can easily
So
achieve
this
the
is
break even.
hyper local to Bhubaneswar if you open, but you're only opening in west and south. Bhubaneswar is in east.
So
I
close to Kolkata, I think. So that would be covering all the east part,
So
majorly
you
the
would be
east areas.
opening
Sir.
your east ones in year 5. That's where the other two CPUs will come. West and south are coming up. So till second year or till even third year, you don't have CPUs in east. You are still getting
We don't.
CPUs.
So
So,
I think that is primarily because we were studying some of the general demands that is
huh?
currently in those areas.
Okay,
So accordingly, we have planned this
understood.
particular area.
ठीक है.
Yes, sir. So our survey was planned across India as we were taking surveys of the people in our college only and many of the users. So we found that these particular areas are having higher demand compared to those. So accordingly, we have planned the implementation, sir.
Understood. Understood.
Right, sir.
Sak, over to you. If you have any parting comments, because I think we are on the mark. Gaurav.
Yes. Thank you so much, team.
Thank you,
It was a
team.
nice
Good work.
presentation, even the question.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You may leave the meeting now.
Yeah.
We'll get in the
Thank,
next meeting.
thank you so much for the opportunity, sir.
Thank you. No problem. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. It's visible.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
Yes, it's visible. Okay, so I'll just reiterate the rules. You guys have 10 minutes to present. I'll message after 8 minutes in the group that last 2 minutes are pending, and then you'll have 5 minutes for the Q&A. Okay,
Got it.
great. So you can start now. Thank you.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. We are Team Synergy, and today we will be presenting our solution for the Tata Starbucks case. As a quick background, the Starbucks entered India in 2012 through its 50-50 joint venture with the Tata Consumer Products, and today it has grown to nearly 500 stores across 70 plus cities and aims to reach 1,000 stores by 2028. But as it enters deeper into the Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities, it faces the real challenge of maintaining profitability with the rising rental costs, increasing competition, and the lower footfalls. And with this context, let me take you through our market snapshot and competitive landscape to understand where the Starbucks stands today and what gaps exist. So, before proposing the strategy, we conducted a combination of primary research and competitive benchmarking to understand how Starbucks is viewed in India. From our survey, we found that 67% of the respondents have heard of Starbucks, but only 43.8% have actually visited a store, which indicates a high level of awareness but low level of conversion. And this is mainly due to the premium pricing. And among those who visited Starbucks, only 45% visited in airports or malls, which suggests that Starbucks still functions as a destination store and not as a neighborhood cafe. Also, 57.1% of the consumers feels that the Starbucks quality is similar to the other brands which means that the differentiation is not as strong as expected for a premium brand, which clearly shows that while the brand equity is high for Starbucks, but the accessibility and perceived value still remain as a barrier. Then we mapped Starbucks against the major cafe players like CCD, Third Wave, Chai Point, and others. And we found out that Third Wave and Blue Tokai dominate the experiential and craft coffee space with a strong focus on bean quality, local flavors, and small format stores. Whereas CCD and M Cafe offers a wider footprint and lower price points as compared to Starbucks and capturing the value and mass segment. The chai focused brands like Chai Point, MBA Chaiwala are scaling rapidly with the prices around rupees 50, and the Starbucks being priced between rupees 50 to rupees 370 sits firmly in the premium bucket. And the mapping quadrant on the left bottom also highlights that Starbucks is positioned as a non-economical and experiential, which means it is relying heavily on ambience and brand affinity. However, with the consumers increasingly valuing accessibility, local flavors, and affordability, Starbucks risk losing share to the agile craft players and the economical cafe chains. This competitive reality forms the base for our strategy ahead to balance premium experience with a broader accessibility through differentiated store formats, localized menu innovation, and better unit economics. Moving to the next slide.
Now let me walk you through the proposed innovative solutions for Tata Starbucks. So we begin with a differentiated store format strategy, which is tailored to the revenue potential of each city tier. So in Tier 1 metros, we recommend developing experience flagships and metro hubs that act as a third place destination. So these are basically the large format stores which are positioned in high street and premium commercial areas. And in tier 2 cities, we focus to the core community cafes, which are mid-sized stores that deliver a consistent Starbucks experience while adapting selectively to the local aesthetics. And for tier 3 and transit heavy zones, we suggest a Starbucks light format, which will be compact, high efficiency stores with a simplified menu in order to maximize the footfall conversion. While looking at the consumer insights and preference, we found that over 57% of the coffee consumption still happens at home. But 53% of the consumers they actively prefer coffee shops for the cafe experience, indicating a strong opportunity to convert the occasional users into store visitors. In terms of beverages, India still remains a tea forward market at 44%, but coffee preference is rising, especially among the young urban consumers. And this dual preference is a lever for menu innovation. And to capture this demand, we proposed a refreshed store layout emphasizing on productivity and collaboration. So this will eventually include private work ports, community tables, and comfort seating clusters in order to position Starbucks as a reliable workplace. Moreover, we also add high utility amenities such as free Wi Fi, charging ports, books, and presentation tools, making the stores more relevant for the students, freelancers, and hybrid workers. Working towards the menu innovation, which would be another growth pillar, we introduced tea infused beverages and regional inspired flavors like the sandalwood chai latte, kokum and mint refresher, and Kashmiri kava americano. These drinks will reinforce cultural authenticity while allowing Starbucks to command for a premium pricing. So our premium pricing strategy, it has three layers, mostly focusing on strategic localization and tiered pricing strategy, and moreover value engineering, which will be leveraging the rupees 189 mini menu to attract more entry level customers without diluting the brand equity. And to amplify this, we recommend for a digital first marketing strategy, which would be leveraging collaboration with the influencers, food bloggers, and targeted ads while using for a mobile app consumer data. So this will ensure two things. First, a precision rich and as well as a high campaign ROI. Finally, we came up with a 5-year financial outlook which shows a strong scalability. Like we are expanding from 479 stores today, 2000 plus stores in fiscal year 2028, with the EBITDA margin improving at a rate of 18%. And the execution roadmap follows a phased build up, which would be initially focusing on the store design upgrades and product pilots, and it would be followed by a scaling profitable formats and deepening regional innovations. Moving to the next slide.
Okay, so now I'll talk about our customer engagement strategy and how we plan to preserve and grow the Starbucks brand experience. So, the first pillar is membership plans. We looked at different types of customers who come to Starbucks and we designed four simple plans based on their needs. So the first one is the daily access plan for occasional users who need the workspace for just a day. The monthly unlimited plan is for freelancers and remote workers who want a quiet place to work regularly. The business team plan is for small teams or startups who need access for multiple members along with meeting room perks. And the student special plan gives school and college students a discounted option during after school hours. So each of these plans is designed to make Starbucks a comfortable and reliable work and meeting space while still keeping the premium touch. We also connect these plans to our Starbucks app so the members can earn work and brew club coins, which will work as an extension of Starbucks rewards. They also get discounts on corporate events, workshops, gift hampers, and coffee merchandise. This way, the membership is not only about using the space, it becomes a full experience that brings people back more often. The next part of our strategy is partnership. We offer flat 20% discount every Friday evening to our corporate and college partners. A verification would be done through an employee ID or a unique code generated on the app itself. For startups, we provide enterprise level discounts to encourage them to use Starbucks as their offsite workspace. So this will help us build long-term relationship with these organizations and also increase weekday and evening footfall. To build a community around this brand, we also propose hosting events and workshops in partnership with different businesses and creators. So these events can increase awareness of these kinds of membership plans and make Starbucks feel like a place where people can learn, collaborate, and belong. And finally, we strengthen the digital side of engagement. We launch a new campaign called Starbucks for Care, focusing on authenticity and reach. We collaborate with food bloggers and influencers for YouTube reviews, reels, and referral codes. Using customer data for the app, Starbucks can also run targeted ads based on individual preferences. And all of this will help us increase the app usage, understand the customers better, push personalized offers that match their needs. That's all. Thank you.
Lucknow, I know you're a marketing professor. थोड़ा और करना था. Can you go to the first slide, please?
Yes.
वहाँ पे 326 दिखा मुझे somewhere. 326 stores, metros mainly. Then it became 500 in the. I hate to be the Ashneer Grover here, but it was 326 here, and then it suddenly became. Go to the next slide. Then I thought this is the right number. So it's way beyond 326. It's 400 plus, 500 plus. So that is the current number of stores. Because I know because Visakhapatnam they opened a store, which was I think 500 plus. So anyway, so I only have 4-5 minutes here. So good insight. Just one part. I don't know if SAC Gaurav has shared the marking strategy with you folks or not. There's a lot of marks on problem understanding, and then you do depth of analysis, and then solution quality and presentation quality. Of course, the presentation quality was number one. I'm sure he would have shared or hinted. So the problem understanding part could have been fleshed out more. That wo nahi dikha. I couldn't find the because we're jumping into the analysis that you have done, primary study, primary research as well, and then 67%, 41%. And I've gone through everything. So that's the great work on the second point, which is depth of analysis. First part a bit better. Now comes the question. You mentioned about digital transformation, coins, and stuff. Uh, why did you not, or did you consider Tata new app and Tata digital strategy of integrating? So Tata has purchased Big Basket, Tata has purchased 1MG, so they are all bringing them under Tata Digital. So they want to, and now they have new app, so which you can get new coins and use for staying at Taj or whatever. So did you ever think to leverage that database of consumer behavior and use it here? Did you do that in the research part or something? Have you done any analysis of that?
So we not really look to collaborate that data into here, because we firstly we are thinking about onboarding new customers as well. So there we find that a lot of people are still unaware, or they would be entry level customers to us. So that would be a point where we want to leverage that. And some people don't really go to hotels and stay in Taj, and that is kind of a different, I believe, a different customer
Understood.
segment who.
Understood. Got the answer. I only have 2 more minutes to. I have 1 or 2 minutes at max to for the second question. I agree with your point, so don't worry if I'm cutting it off. Second is, so I talk about Tata Neo because the intention is to have one common data warehouse, a data lake, and then bring everything together and then generate insights. That's the reason I asked. Secondly, you also mentioned about spending power, and then the good part was product differentiation. Any particular reason where any particular analysis that you have done matching market entry where Starbucks is getting into tier 2 or tier 3 or various parts of India? You have mentioned beautiful words like Kashmiri Kawa. I really love it. Kokam and those parts. Have you done some kind of work that these are going to be runaway success? Just like chai mint, chai tea latte, or there are so many things which are very popular in the US. Uh, could one of this be that star? Have you done that kind of analysis? Yes, no, maybe. All answers are equally good.
So
Yes, sir. As we have mentioned that we have done primary research and collected data from the consumers itself. From there, we got to know the various
So people
flavors.
want to people want to drink kahwa. So Kashmiri kahwa, have you done? So it's there on Amazon. There are a lot of kahwa ready-made sachets sale. So you can do an estimate how many those are sold. And sorry, you're saying something, Ishika.
Yes, sir. We have we have given them various options in the survey form. From there, we get to know the three main flavors that we have showed in the slide, that the customers are mainly interested in these type of flavors.
And who is the survey audience? Just the last minute, Gaurav. Who is the survey audience? Who did you target this survey to, and what was the sample size?
Sir, mainly the customers from the tier 2 and tier 3 cities. We have targeted those segments and floated the form to those people.
So even if there are 200 people, then two-third or 67% is around 67 to 130 people. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Um, looks good. Just two more points. Just 1 point. I know Sack. The moment Sack turns on camera, it means I have to shut up, and the other team has to come in. But 1 point here is, see, good work. First of all, in India, consumption is taking off, but in pockets. Comedians have been able to sell 750 rupees in club because they have an experience. People come for an experience, and so people can come once in a week to spend something that can become, because they come for an ambience. I missed that part here. The ambience part, how do you create ambience? So if you have gone to an IKEA store or something, you would find that part. Good work on the differentiation, cost leadership, again supply chain coming into picture. Think a bit on the ambience and how data can be used to create that ambience. Bluetooth beacons, and think in that direction. You are very close to the actual answer. Chalo. Sax sir, back to you.
Great, great. Thank you so much, team. Thank you. It was really a nice presentation, and you even answered the questions really well. Thank you so much for your time.
thank you. Thank you for hosting us.
No problem. You're welcome. You guys can leave the meeting.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Great, great. Okay. So guys, can you please share your screen, share your deck? And first of all, again, welcome you guys to the finale of Consultimate 5.0. Thank you so much for participating. And as a judge, we have Naval Singh, who is a senior consultant in public sector and an alumni of IIM as well. Once you share your screen, let me know when you're ready so I can start the time. I'll just reiterate the rules again till you share the screen. So you will have 10 minutes for the presentation, and after 8 minutes, I'll be typing out a message in the group that there are just 2 minutes left, and then you will have 5 minutes for the question and answers. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. So are you guys ready?
Is my screen visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. Just one thing. Are there like any like tabs or anything visible? Because like the window
No,
is
no, no.
visible. Okay. Yeah.
No,
Fine.
just the presentation is visible.
Cool.
So can they start?
Yeah,
Rahul
let's
sir,
let's
can they
let's
start?
let's start. Let's start. It's 2:35, so let's start. Okay.
Okay.
So, good afternoon, everyone. We are Team Synergy Squad, and today we'll be addressing a strategic inflection point that will define the next decade of Tata Starbucks in India. So, before we start, we would just like to offer a sincere apology in case there's any background noise, since both of us are at the airport right now. So, let's picture this: a young professional in Indore walks into a gleaming cafe. He orders a cappuccino for rupees 240 and experiences the same brand magic that a Mumbai executive enjoys. This is not just aspiration, it's a strategic roadmap to profitability. But here's the paradox: Starbucks commands 60% of market share in metros with 479 stores. Yet, it posted a rupees 135 crore loss in fiscal year 25. Meanwhile, 45% of India's urban population growth is happening in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, where we have only 18% penetration. So the question isn't whether to expand, it's how to scale profitably while protecting our premium DNA. So let's start with a market context and strategic imperative. India's specialty coffee segment is exploding at 13.75% CAGR, reaching $6.52 billion by 2031. Consumer behavior has fundamentally shifted. Average order value jumping from 200 to 400, tripling the traditional coffee. The youth consumption in tier 2 and 3 has doubled in 3 years, and UPI adoption has surged almost 45%. Yet we face some critical constraints. The brand value paradox. We want to have a premium positioning which drives metros but creates a price scale clash in smaller cities. There is the unit economics pressure. At rupees 1.8 spent per rupee earned with 36 to 42-month payback period, our model doesn't really scale. There's also the geographical constraints. The demand cost mismatch where tier 2 appetite exists, but metro economics don't translate. And finally, the operational scalability. With rising inefficiency, we are facing difficulty to replicate the flagship complexity everywhere. So our strategic imperative is to design a differentiated expansion that adapts cost structures, protects brand equity, achieves unit profitability in 18 to 30 months, and enables 1000 plus stores by the fiscal year 28, while improving our EBITDA from 18% to 22%. So let's talk about our core strategy. Our solution is a strategic format segmentation, including intelligent market format matching. So we have flagship and reserve in metros with 75 to 95 lakh capex, 120 to 150 stores, and brand cathedrals, which will be delivering theatrical experiences with rupees 350 to 450. Yes, there is a 36 to 42-month payback, but these create halo effects across the portfolio. Next, we have compact premium in cities like Pune, Jaipur, Lucknow with 45 to 65 lakh capex, 250 to 300 stores with 24 to 30-month payback. Finally, we have small format and kiosks in cities like Indore, Nagpur, and Varanasi, which would be acting as a volume engine. 35 to 50 lakh capex, 400 to 450 stores with 18 to 24-month payback period. There are high frequency touchpoints which are designed to 250 to 350 daily traffic with authentic Starbucks experiences. Finally, we move on to the drive-through and delivery hubs. Along with corridors, we have asset-light digital-first drive-through and delivery hubs with 40 to 60 lakh capex, 150 to 180 stores, and 70 to 80% delivery orders with a minimal rent exposure. This isn't just format proliferation, it's strategic capital allocation matching the market economics. Moving on to the menu pricing optimization, we need to talk about our dual tier menu pricing strategy, which has the premium affordability tension problem solved. We maintain our global premium line at rupees 250 to 310, non negotiable brand equity. But we are introducing a localized mini menu. This offers regional price elasticity optimization. Cappuccino, let's say at 270 to 300 in metros, 240 to 270 in advanced tier 2, 220 to 240 in tier 2 and 3, with still 200% plus premium versus value players at rupees 60 to 80. This is where our mini menu comes in. This cost optimization is going to create margin expansion. It replaces the 30 to 40% of our imports with Indian suppliers. There would be, let's say, 8 to 12% procurement savings, and regional roasteries by fiscal year 26 would cut the bean costs by 15%. Our SKUs would be rationalized from 200 plus to 140, driving approximately 15% waste reduction. And finally, we need to preserve our brand experience. Brand equity is our only sustainable competitive advantage. Each of our format maintains distinct visual identity, flagship showcases, barista craft, and exclusive blends. Compact premium of our segment emphasizes logo-centric designs, small formats focusing on community connections, but all maintaining the green apron, the siren, and the third place experience. So no format is the cheaper version. It represents distinct positioning within the Starbucks universe. So we have aggressive metrics like the NPS score should target for 65 to 70, 55 to 60 for small format, and our premium perception should be above 85%. And our operational excellence comes with brand insurance, with enhanced partner training, with SCA certification, KPI linked incentives, and real time feedback loops. Over to you, Manas.
So the implementation and feasibility. So our three-phase roadmap delivers validated learning and capital efficiency. So in the phase 0, which is 0 to 6 months, we'll be starting with 6 small format pilots in key cities, validating footfall and economics. So mini menu pilots track frequency and NPS. Real estate task force would cut the site selection time, which is currently 12 weeks, to less than 6 weeks. So this would de-risk our 25 to 30 crore, which leads to a lot of saving for the company. In the phase 1, which is 6 months to 24 months, we will be scaling to 250 to 400 stores. It would be 30% asset light in tier 2 and 3. Loyalty program with over 50 million users through subscription and B2B partnerships, and highway drive-through pilots would also be targeting around 200 daily transactions. Regional supply hubs will cut up the delivery cost by 20%, and we'd also be targeting ready-to-drink retail via Tata Consumer. In the next phase, that is phase 2, which is after 24 months till 36 months, we'll be optimizing and achieving network effects. So feasibility across the 3 dimensions. The first dimension would be financial. We are targeting around 1700 crore total capex around in the financial year 26 to 28. Small format payback would be under 24 to 30 months, creating positive cash flow by year 3. In the operational dimension, we will be seeing a modular interiors cut fit out, which would reduce the time from 16 to 8 weeks. This also saves a lot since it is standardized. The revenue share, these would also help us with the rental escalation at 8 to 15% year on year. In the consumer side, UPI penetration in tier 2 is exceeding 40%, and mystery audits ensure that NPS above 55 stays in all the formats. So the 4 critical risks with clear mitigation plan are: the first is the brand dilution. So we'll be having strict visual identity guidelines, premium only SKUs at flagships, targeted marketing plans, and we'll also be creating sub brands and not diluting the master brand. Second is the rental escalation. The revenue share leases align landlord incentives with our success. Third is footfall volatility. So subscription bundles and B2B partnership create baseline traffic, which helps us with the revenue flows, not just ceilings. And operational inconsistency. So standardized training, quarterly audits, and KPI linked incentives would help us keep the policy as systematic. So we can summarize by saying that India's specialty coffee market is at an inflection point. Do we defend metro profitability and seed emerging markets, or architect expansion that captures tier 2 to 3 growth while protecting our premium brand? Our recommendation does both. Strategic format segmentation, dual tier menu innovation, and regional pricing optimization enables us to grow from 279 stores currently to more than 1,000 by financial year 28, improving EBITDA from 18% to 22% and reducing payback time from around 42 months to less than 30 months. This isn't just expansion, it's profitable brand protective growth at scale. The young professional in Indore deserves the same Starbucks magic as the Mumbai executive, and Tata Starbucks deserves the economics that makes serving both marketable and sustainable. And we are here to make this vision a reality. And thank you.
Okay, Team Synergy Squad. Thank you for the presentation. Can you go back to slide one, please? In the second slide where you had the yes. Okay. Here, you want to scale across tier two and tier three network. You have seen competitive intensity and competitors what they are doing here. You are also proposing a payback period of 3 years, 3.5 years. And you mentioned somewhere in the last slide 55 lakhs per store. These rental labor cogs, have you done analysis or have you done any primary research on how much store costs, store lease costs in India, in say Visakhapatnam, or you are in Roorkee? So in Roorkee, is there that kind of work done in past? Have you checked?
Yes, sir. So we referred to the main available data, and also we tried to contact with some retailers regarding the long-term lease value. So these values are when the lease is at least for 10 to 15 years. So then they are able to offer the prices which they have quoted and which we have also presented in our presentation.
Okay, can you go to slide 2, please? Then after this, next one. Yes. So here, are you saying that a larger footfall and a smaller price will still ensure that the tier 2 and tier 3 will still make profitability compared to tier 1? The footfall.
Yes, sir. Because in the tier 2, 3, we are having a larger footfall, and along with that, definitely the pricing is a bit lower as compared to the flagship stores, but it is still enough to cover all our prices. And along with that, we have kept the store size and also the capex required in the smaller stores as minimum as possible to ensure that the payback time is as low as possible, which we have seen that within the 24 months, we are able to recover the whole cost in cities like Varanasi.
But coffee will cost the same. So sorry, because I only have 3 minutes more left. That's sorry I'm interrupting. I'm not a rude person. Trust me on that. So the coffee will be priced the same, right? Or coffee will be priced different in tier 2?
So the coffee will be priced a bit less in the tier 2
Okay,
cities.
understood. Price different, volume high, P into Q is R. So if quantity goes up, price goes down, R remains same. You mentioned that barista certification is a sustained competitive advantage. I didn't see any HR part here. No problem, just an observation. I saw customer NPS and those part and perception, ambience. I told that to the previous team that ambience part is missing. You talked about ambience here. I love that you use ChatGPT. I've told Saxi and Gaurav to use as much ChatGPT as possible. It's a leveler because I can see a lot of missing dabbas, which means some special characters have been missed. I can see these arrows which are also from ChatGPT. They usually come near. If you see 149 to 180, there's an empty box here. Those formatting issues usually come when there are rupee signs get missed. No problem. Next, can you go to the next slide, please? We wanted to have extra marks for people who use AI to get more suggestions. Good work here as well. One point to make, you have mentioned that you will expand from phase 0 to 6, then 24, and then beyond here. Any particular reason you feel that you should launch mini menu and these things in the first 6 months?
Yes, so in the first 6 months, we are keeping it as a pilot and not currently in the all the stores. So we will be starting as a pilot each in the 5 to 6 cities, and seeing the response, we'll be replicating it in the other cities also.
So you expect people to have a franchising model, to people to pay 55 lakhs and open an agency of Starbucks in their city. Usually there's no competition, so they will have only one Starbucks in the city, smaller city, and then pilot a mini menu. And you mentioned about risks. The risks, operational inconsistency with new partners, customer experience at risk. A good part would be just an input. I know the video has gone on. That means I have to stop. A good point would also be to ensure that 55 lakhs for the person who's putting in as a franchisee is saved. If you're opening there, that is something that you can think of to add, that those do not make losses. Of course, Tata is a legendary brand. It will return back the money if someone wants to close the store. That's never the concern. But as a presenter, as a CEO or a potential CEO of Starbucks India, how you will prepare those if those pilots fail? How do you have cushions for those to have some money coming in? And if barista certification is your SCA, what if they'll not churn to Tokai? Will you train them in very own way which only you have? You have a secret sauce that they put in, which only they cannot put in Blue Tokai. So they cannot jump ship after becoming SCA. So create as many barriers. That's the intention, because you mentioned about brand equity, and that's a key sustained competitive advantage. SCA brings larger margins and larger revenues. I like that view. Um, Final point is airlines, for example, if it takes off, Navi Mumbai has launched a new airport. It will start in December. So the landing charges and airport development fees will be a little bit higher. Just giving you an idea. That you can tell that, dear people, Indigo charges me so much. The airport charges me so much. That's the reason it's expensive. When you land at some other old depreciated airport, the charges are lower because we have taken away that. So here, what you have done beautifully is, if you can segment those prices and be honest that out of 249 or 400 rupees, the cost of 150 of being at BKC or Juhu or somewhere is going away, so that I know it's the same coffee. It's not, is the rent is priced away. So I know that, because if you know the Tata Nano effect, that Laktakia car will not sell because I feel it's a cheaper car. Because you are being honest, so I'm just giving you honest feedback. You tell them that the landing charges come down, so the ticket is cheaper. It's not that suddenly why it is cheaper here. That part could be a very protect value for your franchisee. Be candid of how you are able to give them good quality coffee with the same money. Otherwise, they'll pretend that it's not good, because its perception matters a lot in brand, and brand can be killed by bad perception. So that's other than that, one of the best among all I've seen till afternoon. Over to Saxi.
Can I just add one point? So
Please, please.
for the pilot point, what we had planned is it will be implemented in the current tier 2 cities stores, and rather, like, we won't be getting a new franchisor and trying it out there.
Understood.
And regarding the barista one point, so we had planned to keep at least 2 or 3 year contract with them, so that they we don't see the churn rate as you mentioned. That's what I just wanted to mention.
Good points. Well thought out.
Thank you so much, Prince. Thank you, Manas. Thank you for participating. You did a good job. It was a nice presentation, actually. And as Sir said, thank you so much. You guys can leave. We'll get in the next team quickly.
Thank you. Thank you.
The next
Okay.
team
So
is,
shall I get in the?
yeah, the
There's
Pankaj.
just one person. There's
Pankaj.
just one person.
Okay, one person. Okay, it's okay.
Okay, I'm getting him in. Hello, Pankaj. Hi, Pankaj. Good afternoon. Pankaj, you're not audible.
Yeah, hello.
Okay. Hi, Pankaj. Good afternoon. And welcome to the finale of Consultimate 5.0. Thank you so much for participating. And as a judge, we have Naval Singh, Mr. Naval Singh, sir, who is a senior consultant in public sector and is also an alumni of IMN. So can you please share your screen so we can
Sure.
start quickly? So until you share your screen, I'll repeat the rules once. You have 10 minutes for presentation, and as you are a single person, after 8 minutes, I'll interrupt you and tell you that there are just 2 minutes left. Okay, and after 10 minutes, there will be a hard stop.
Oh, fine.
Then you will have 5 minutes for the Q&A.
Can
Sorry?
you please confirm if my screen is
Yeah,
visible?
it's visible. It's visible.
Okay, just give me a moment. Yeah, so let me know, sir, when we can start.
You may start. It's 2:54.
Okay. So, yeah. So, good afternoon, everyone. So, I am Pankaj. Currently, I'm a student at HDBI in Calcutta. So here we begin with our case strategy for brewing scale at Tata Starbucks. So, first of all, I would like to go through the executive summary. What we have done is, first we have conducted a brand competitiveness assessment, and then we have tried to figure out what are the blue ocean areas. So with competitive assessment, we try to identify, I mean, what position is the Starbucks currently at with respect to all the competitors. While when we go for the blue ocean analysis, we try to figure out which are the new areas that Starbucks can prosper in so that it can defeat all the competitors. So based on these two preliminary strategies, we have tried to make furthermore strategies for the five things asked. So this is a kind of a brief summary. So first of all, I would like to go through the competitive assessment so that I can explain what we have done. Over here, what I have done is I have figured out these 8 parameters for comparison across all the different competitors. And there is a framework which I have used. We call that as the marginalization framework. For all the competitors, we have described them in these 10 parameters, and we will try to make Starbucks better than all the competitors in all these different framework, in all these different parameters. So again, we just tried to make this competitor information score. Just a minute. Yeah. So I hope the pointer is visible as well. So we try to just figure out this competitor information score based on tier 2 and tier 3 cities. Over this, in all those 8 parameters, we have considered various factors for comparison, and we got this heat map. And based on this, we just figured out what was the average competitor score and what was the difference from the Starbucks, so that this gives just a preliminary idea of the positioning of Starbucks as compared to the rest of the competitors. Based on this, the next step was blue ocean scenario analysis. As we know, blue ocean is all about where it can prosper, the regions where it can be in the blue ocean, that is, there are less chances of competition as possible. So we tried to figure out all these datas. We tried, of course these datas are not available handy, so we just try to interpret it with respect to these different parameters that we can actually measure. We took out from the CMI data, measured these, we conducted data standardization, we weighted them, and we finally calculated the feasibility score. So I would just like to show these 4 feasibility score tables across all these cities. From these two are for the tier 2 cities, and these are for the tier 3 cities. So based on this, we got the feasibility scores. So now we are very clear. We know the competitive assessment of Starbucks from its competitors first thing, so that we can try to understand where Starbucks need to work on and where it is already excel. And the second thing is we know which areas it can target. So the storyline is pretty much clear. So now, as we know, for the strategy one that we are considering, first thing which we did is we tried to, this is just a template of how to measure the feasibility index. So based on different parameters, this is how we are just calculating what is the feasibility index. And these are the different market inputs that we got: the demand growth, digital delivery, what is the average ticket size in those areas, what is the rental, and what are the different capex inputs. Based on this, we figured out what are the revenue, EBITDA, and playback and the payback period. So I would now like to explain what we have proposed for strategy one. Yeah. So first of all, in strategy one, we are trying to figure out what are the store format expansion strategies. So we have proposed that there will be pods for tier 2 and pops for tier 3. These two are just different store formats. Just we have given the names. So what we did is we have the data inputs from the market inputs, financial inputs, capex inputs, and from the blue ocean and competitive matrix that we had estimated earlier. So first, we did the feasibility scoring across the cities. Then we did the economics calculation that I already mentioned, the revenue, payback period, and the EBITDA, and we formulated the strategies. So first of all, this is called the cluster penetration model in city planning. So these are the anchor stores. Anchor stores are already established Starbucks stores, which are, I mean, which are already well established. And within 3 to 4 kilometers, we are going to have delivery hubs and pods. And for tier 3, POPs will be the primary entry strategy. Here we will be using 10 to 25 square meters micro stores, and these will be focusing on less than 2 to 3 minute service. And these will be hyper local positioning as compared to the drive adoption. We will be having delivery only dark pods, And this strategy is referred to as the city swarm strategy. Now we have to go towards the second strategy, that is menu and price optimization. As far as menu and price optimization is concerned, we have taken these data inputs, the SKU operational data, in which we measured what are the different cogs, preparation time, wastages, profit margin analysis, and the and the sales frequency heat map. Then we try to figure out what are the customer analytics data. Through their ratings, we try to figure out what they think of these different menu items. Then we also conducted an elasticity experimentation in which we discovered the price elasticity where the people are more comfortable in buying. So then we conducted a menu engineering in which we made a popularity versus margin contribution framework, in which we had popularity index and margin contribution. Then we also studied what is the bundle optimization, and if we can make some bundles so that people can buy those bundles very often as compared to the individual goods. So based on that, these are the recommendations for menu architecture. That is, we should retain the global core, introduce a local identity layer. We should have a value impression menu that is around 10 to 20% should be the value impression menu, and food innovation. Apart from that, for the pricing optimization is concerned, we must have a tiered pricing strategy, a dynamic city-wise price ladders, bundle engineering, and time-based promotions. Again, in the section of innovative recommendations, we have a recommendation: we should establish coffee highways that are, I mean, just a dhaba equivalent of the Starbucks. And as per the reports, the ROI potential can be 2 to 3 times. And again, as far as menu is concerned, we can have an option of AI generated menus, which will be using demand forecasting and local flavor affinity. Now, for brand experience preservation, two solutions we have proposed. First is a pilot implementation. This is theoretical and this has to be implemented once Starbucks get operational. So we will be using these data sets and we will be calculating the brand development index. Once we get the score for brand development index, we will again make it a feedback kind of mechanism. We will know where we are lacking and then we will work on that. So the solution is we will implement various experience boosters, that is format specific brand SLAs. We will identify all these toolkits should be there. We should be having a proper audit of the aroma and ambience. We should be having mobile training units. We should be focusing on IoT based monitoring. And what we will focus? We will focus all these in three different areas. First is customer experience, then is employee experience, and third
Sorry to
is
interrupt, Pankaj. You
yeah,
have 2 minutes left.
yeah, technology experience. Apart from that, if we move to strategy 4, we have mainly focused on revenue expansion. So first we try to figure out what is the revenue potential. We got 50% that as a number, and based on that, in revenue expansion we have we focus mainly on the revenue flywheel engine and a platform that focus on digital first and plan and the platform data. And second recommendation is on profitability and unit economics expansion. We will be building a lean store operating model. We will be implementing predictive analytics for the value chain, and we will be redesigning the menu for operational efficiency. At last, finally, we have to study what is the scalability roadmap. So these are the data inputs we will be using. We will be mainly focusing on an index called Scale Readiness Index, in which again we will map these different parameters. Based on that, we calculate the format mix calculation, how many formats we shall be using, what will be the different training and scaling model. So it is estimated that 8,000 to 9,000 additional staffs will be required. And then if optional, we can make out a supply chain simulation. So this is the roadmap that we have planned, in which we have 150 stores, then 150 stores, then 100 stores, and then 100 stores across the 4 years. So the recommendations are: we will make a multi-format national coffee grid. We will adopt a city micro-cluster model, which we have mentioned over here. Again, we have to make the design scalable so that we can also scale more than an additional 8,000 employees. We have to invest in digital infrastructure and a Starbucks innovation and localization lab. Again, there are certain innovation big bets. We will be having autonomous Starbucks pickup stations, predictive store expansion, hyperlocal digital twins, and local legends. So these were all the recommendations from my side. If we have a look at the annexure slides where we have discussed different calculations.
Pankaj, your time is up, right?
Yeah, okay, sure.
Good analysis. If you didn't tell me that you are doing business analytics PGDB, I would have guessed from the slides. Good rigor. Um,
Thank you, sir.
Analytical rigor, I can feel it is there. The highest analytical rigor. So without even doubt, there's a section called analysis. So you till now you would be the highest ranked in the analysis part. There are 4 segments: understanding, analysis, solution, and presentation. Presentation was exhaustive, and analysis is the best till now. Have you
Thank you.
done a recency frequency monetary value analysis (RFM) on coffee drinkers on any store and checked their?
Uh, No, sir. Actually, the first thing which came to my mind is that again we have to check on a lot of data, and of course the time was a constant. So that much of
No
advanced
problem.
analytics we couldn't
That's
do.
perfectly fine.
Yeah.
That it's not
Yeah.
expected that to have, but just that because you are from business analytics, you should know something called the
Yes, sir.
RFM and the predicted value and how much they are coming. RFM is a very
Right,
popular
sir.
way to
Right, sir.
to
Right, sir.
to churn. You talked a bit about. Can you go back to the beginning slide where you had the analysis part? The these are,
Analysis for, I mean, which
go
analysis,
to
sir?
the first slide. Go to the first slide of your PowerPoint.
Okay, brand comparative assessment.
Yes. So here you have done a tuple of two cross two numbers, and you have calculated
Right, sir.
difference from Starbucks. Uh, what? How did you calculate? What were the weights? What model did you use, and how did you get these differences? Is it simple mathematics, or have you done some machine learning scoring or some modeling behind that?
Okay. So the model is referred to as IRWLS, iterated reweighted least squares method that has been used in this. So what we do is there is something, if you permit me to go towards the technicalities, this is known as marginalization maximization framework. So I just try to apply this into business analytics case. So first thing is when we do a simple regression, we know that there are different attributes or the feature vectors. So for all the competitive assessment, these 10 were the different indices that we want to measure. So what we did is, let's suppose a competitor is having a score of on an average 8 across all these parameters. Similarly, we get the scores of all the 5 or 6 different competitors across these scores, and we try to figure out the individual maximum for all these feature attributes, and we try to make a marginal uplift of the scores of Starbucks as compared to, I mean, in all these 8 parameters. So we did this for tier 3 and tier 2 cities. And based on that, we calculated these scores, and the raw numbers, the input, of course, these 10 attributes, they are not directly available in any database. So we try to make it from the CMI, Center for Monitoring Indian Economy. And if we go to the next slide, this is how these are the different attributes on which these are dependent. We tried, and these are accessible in CMI. And from this, we calculated a weighted average and we got it.
Okay,
That was the
I
in
only
brief of
have
it.
1 minute left. Can you go back to the next slide? Move next. I only have 1 more minute for ask a question because the
Yeah,
video has come on. Next, next, please. This is okay. Next,
these are
next.
the different
Yeah, I've
analysis.
gone through this.
Yeah.
I have a parting. Yes, just stay here. Yeah. So, anything else other than this slide? This is an annexure, right? There's nothing else apart from
Yeah,
that.
yeah, these are the
There was
annexures.
a slide
What?
when you had lots of strategies. Where's that slide? Where you had strategy
Okay,
here, strategy 1, strategy 2. Where's that slide?
sure, sir.
Y-
These are,
Yeah. No, just
yes, sir, yes, sir.
the two partition. Yes. Wait here. So this strategy 1, strategy 2, a good approach here would be just as a feedback to align it to a corporate strategy. You have done this from a product perspective because it's a consulting competition, quiz competition. Align it to a strategic viewpoint, which is cost leadership, differentiation, uh, any niche product that you are making, which will have larger brand value. We have done the great work on analysis and optimization and everything on store and distance network, which all rolls down into cost optimization. So then we
Yes, sir.
talked a bit about increasing price, increasing profitability, and how you will get that. That's again part of something. So you marry that. These all work into business levers. Can you go to next slide,
Sure.
please? Yeah, these again here. You have brand, and you have so brand leads to higher margins, higher profitability. Is a gateway or is a big moat against other. So how do you make it? Where it goes? The mathematic formulas can go back. Finally, here revenue expansion, very good point. So increasing revenue, reducing cost, protecting your core, increasing that part. That those things need to come out. Work well
Right.
done. Just finishing part and apply and clustering them into business heads, and then showing the
Right.
business heads. And we talked about Prezi with SAC coordinator earlier. Prezi is a very good tool for any future contest. You click it, it becomes larger. Unless the judge asks, you can keep all the complexity of the work hidden and never show all the effort. Having come from analytics and big data science background myself for a long time, all the blood and sweat that we put inside a PowerPoint presentation, we start with an Excel, showing that we are honest, we're not cheating, we've done all the analysis. But at the end, the outcome matters. So if
Yes.
I want, I can go to the every nut and bolt. I want to be that BMW CEO who can open up the BMW to the last nut and bolt and reassemble it. But that's not what my day job is. My job is to run BMW as a CEO. But I will not start
Right.
by showing that I've come from the shop floor, I know everything. So the point is always have data encapsulation, hide complexity behind simpler words, and the moment someone is skeptical about your credential, open it up, open it up, open it up to show that you have done all the background work. Good
Sure.
work,
Thank you so much.
great work on analysis. Solution quality is very good. Understanding from business side maybe average. Presentation quality needs improvement. Very word heavy. It's very good.
Right.
It's a very good when you do a second or third conversation. When you are presenting it as a business executive, these need to come together. These are all
Right.
slides that you have made. They are all annexures. Just look at Apple presentation, Apple keynotes. You will get to know. You have done great job. Watch Apple keynote launch 1 hour video how Steve Jobs others present. Over to you,
Sure.
Gaurav and others. Good work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, I guess you are on mute.
Parag, you are on mute. Okay, Pankaj, thank you so much for the presentation.
Thank you.
It was hello, Tushar. Hi, Tushar. Can you hear us?
Hello. Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for participating, and we welcome you to the finale of Consultimate 5.0. Can you please share your screen? And yes, as a judge, we have Mr. Naval Singh, who is an senior consultant in public sector and also an alumni of IIM Indore.
चलो तुषार चलो start करो. Thank you.
Okay.
Can you please share your screen?
Yes. Just a second.
You had 3 team members, right?
No, I am only one single.
Okay, no problem.
This is Team W, just to be sure, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so my screen is visible.
Yeah, your screen is visible.
Just please start 313.
Okay. So good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tushar Sharma, and I am from Team W from SRCC. And today I am going to present on a solution for the case competition Consultimate, in which the case competition the case revolves around the how to can we scale Starbucks in the tier 2 and tier 3 segment. So for this coming to the slide. Yes. So I should begin with the strategic context behind this. Today, the market opportunity for the Starbucks and the Indian cafe and coffee market in the retail segment is about 12,000 crores, and out of which 4,000 crore is in the organized market, premium cafe market. And here is a real headline: the attainable tier 2 and tier 3 market is 350 to 400 crore, and this can be targeted by the this is not targeted by anyone. So for this, because the moment you enter the tier 2 and tier 3 market, there is three challenges that you can face. Firstly, the price sensitivity increases, local taste dominates, and decision making shifts to the value plus aspirational values. So here the Starbucks comes, and there is the struggling in the metro cities also. So not because the opportunity is small in the tier 2 and tier 3 segment, but because the current flagships stores that they have, like high capex metro models that they operate on,
they can't go with that models in the tier 2 and tier 3 segment. So for this, firstly we have to understand what is the current competitive landscape in the Indian segment in the cafe market. In the tier 2 and tier 3 cities, there are some competitors, and but the competitors which Starbucks face in Mumbai and Delhi, they are not the same in the tier 2 and tier 3. Let's say CCD and McCafe, they offer value, but McCafe has low prices, not CCD, and they have massive footprints. And in the third wave and Blue Tokai, they craft premium coffee, and they have strong community behind it, but they are on a small level. And for the local specialty cafes which are in these cities, they offer boutique vibes, and they offer youth appeal through their campaigns, and they offer also low rentals. So all of them have some certain type of weapon that Starbucks does not. So Starbucks doesn't have low cost formats plus hyper local storytelling right now in India. So Starbucks, despite strong brand equity and Tata JV strength, struggles here due to high capex and metro city centric product offerings and slower payback. So and also their risk of their brand diluting if their prices drops blindly. So how do we protect this premium halo and whilst entering the value conscious markets? So this is our strategic choice, like the core problem like Starbucks is facing right now, how to scale profitability without losing their brand equity. So Starbucks can't become cheaper. They can't copy CCD abandonedly, and they can't copy. They can't remove their pricing premium cues. So what should they do? So we have a strategic choice in this. They can follow the hybrid access premium model. So what is this? They should offer premium core values of their brand plus value engineered formats, multi-store formats, and the tier pricing. And what is this? I will go let you go through this. This is our solution. We are focusing on 4 P's of the market, which is product, promotion, price, and place. And what is that? In the product segment, we are providing localized menu to the people from localized menu to the people, which varies in the tiered pricing, and this will help us in wider appeal of our to our community. On the pricing part, we are reducing it to tiered pricing from 120 to 180 to 200, and this comes in the accessible part for the current youth in the tier 2 and tier 3 segment. And for the places part, we are targeting different types of places and different types of places. And for the promotion, we are focusing on certain marketing activities. For this, we have followed Ansoff matrix, and in that we have chosen a growth plan of market development plus product development. What is that? In market development, we are focusing on tier 2 and tier 3 cities with flex and drive-through formats and kiosk formats. And in the product development, we are focusing on localized and Indianized developments in coffee and in menu part, like filtered coffee, jaggery brew and all. And coming on to the strategy and initiatives that we are going to take in the market store format expansion strategy. Firstly, we are focusing on 4 types of stores, which is flex stores, mini flex, kiosk, a kiosk which is type of a pickup stores, and drive-through formats. And what is flex stores? It will offer about 20 to 25 seats currently. It will have its core espresso bar. It will have area of about 800 to 1200 square feet. It will be in the major malls and high streets of the tier 2 cities, and this will provide you a balanced dining, but also a takeaway. Coming to the Miniflex, it will reach to the local markets with control cost. It will have lower capex in it, and also we are targeting to partner with Tata retail touchpoints in these cities, in tier 2 and tier 3 cities like Chroma and Tata outlets, so that they can create a micro cafe in that in their stores, and they can offer in the starting in the pilot phase, they can offer the servicing to the people as a complimentary part, or after that they can scale that to the premium segment. And coming to the kiosk, there should be no seating in that. They will offer only core beverages, and staff will consist of about 3 to 4 members. And it is type of only a pickup store and drive through on the highways and expressways. Coming on to the menu and pricing strategy, we are introducing tiered pricing model with entry, mid, and premium pricing. And we are starting our pricing from 120 rupees and going on till to the premium segment. And for the marketing part, we are focusing on the major IDA model. And what's that? We are focusing on regional level targeting to the people, such as in Hindi, Tamil, Gujarati, Kannada languages. We are creating the interest of the people with barista meetup events. And I said, in Tata retail outlets, this will create their interest in that. And for their desires, we will focus on providing some exclusive things and drinks and regional festival drinks like Baisakhi butterscotch cafe latte. This can be an example of regional festival specials. And we want to create chai lover people to the coffee lover people in our conversion campaigns. And for that, we are focusing on pricing level. We are focusing on multi-format stores. And for the
Sorry
and
to
for this,
interrupt, Tushar. You have last 2 minutes left.
okay. For this, we have created a proper implementation plan, which is placed into three phase. First is the pilot and validation. We are focusing on major 8 cities which are in the tier 2 segment: Jaipur, Pune, Coimbatore, Mysore, and Nashik, and etc. And what we are doing there is we are trying to open 12 to 14, 15 stores in there, which from in every format segment. We are trying to validate our products in the current segment, in the current market. And after that we will with the time, we are expanding, we are thinking of expanding to 180 stores with this standardization. And it will reduce our capex by cut our capex by 15 to 20%. It will build our store value. And with all the marketing campaigns, we are focusing on nationwide expansion in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, which will focus on store mix of about 50% mini stores, 30% kiosk, and 20% drive-throughs. We will focus on Starbucks Bharat 2.0, which is global flavor and local heart. And for that, we will face some risk in this, like local competition, brand dilution, low adaptation of our products, and multi-format operational complexities, supply chain complexities. But we have proper strategy to implement this with hyper local pricing, Indianized menu, multi-format kits, which will retain our premium flagship in this, and also offline sampling and regional influencers to market our products to the wider scale. And for the unit economics of every store, we are focusing on with the assumptions of coffee market, which is growing at about 8 to 10% CAGR. And in the tier 2
Sorry,
and tier 3
Tushar.
cities.
Time is up. The time is up.
Okay. This is
You
from
can
my
take
side.
20 seconds to wrap up. You can take 20 seconds to wrap up.
Okay. So, with this, I would like to end up by saying that in India, tier 2 and tier 3 cities, they are not only longer the emerging markets, they are the exploding markets. And for that, Starbucks' next 500 stores will not come from Saket, Bandra, and or high-end places. But they will come from those tier 2 and tier 3 cities. And with the accessible premium pricing and localized menu, we are focusing on unlocking a Bharat size opportunity for Starbucks, and which is global coffee and local heart. And this is our financial projections for the coming 5 years. And we are aiming of about uh, committing a 1200 crores revenue in by 500 stores in 5 years. And this is our marketing budget allocations. And these are some strategic stores and product ideas. Like, we will focus on Starbucks mini fuel pack for the students in the college, and we will place our
Time is up.
kiosk
You
there.
have taken 1 more minute.
Okay. So this is from my end. Thank you.
Yeah, so good work done, Tushar. Can you go to the slide where we talked about brand salience? We will talk about slides, so you can keep them projected on the screen because it save time. Yeah, I remember you showed 30% brand salience going up. Yeah, this one, this slide, brand salience 30% going up. So you also mentioned launching Starbucks, a local Starbucks Light brand as well. So how do you see both of them coexisting?
Where it is brand salience. Okay.
Brand salience going
So
up
in the,
while light as well. Yeah, please. Sorry.
okay. Like for this like when we if for the salience part, like how it will keep on with the for the how we will create a top of mind recall for the segment. We will focus on that. We will focus on the impulse buying of the people. So for that we are offering tiered pricing to create an affordability for the peoples. And
Understood.
what we are.
Understood. I only have 2-3 minutes to ask questions. That's the reason I got
Okay.
that you have understood the concept. Can you go to the next slide, please? I just wanted to check if you have understood the concept of salience and everything.
Yes.
Okay. Good points here. On my Starbucks and yeah. You are mentioning higher footfall to smart placements. Usually, 200 people per day, 180 people per day is usually good enough. So you just need 6,000 people in a month. So are you proposing that if in a month it is suppose 5,203 days are left, or if it's 5,000, so people go to and set up a kiosk near a coaching center and sell 3 for 249?
We for 249.
So you see an exam fuel pack, 3 minis for 249.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, yeah. For
yes, yes,
example,
yes.
if I'm a Starbucks at Kota,
Mm-hmm.
today is 25th November. So I should have sold 200 per day. 5,000 cups should have sold, because by 30th of November I have to sell 6,000 cups, assuming 200 footfalls per day, right?
Okay.
So suppose I'm below that point. So should I go and set up a small kiosk near? I am a Starbucks operator at Kota. Should I set up a
Okay.
small kiosk, pop-up kiosk near a resonance or someone where there are a lot of people, so they will come and buy? Is that the idea?
Yes. What I have created in this, that like Starbucks is there in Kota, but it is far from the coaching centers and all, or it is situated strategically somewhere. But what we are doing is we are setting up a kiosk store in which they will offer some 3 to 4 beverages, so that the people should know that the students who are the upcoming youth, and we will
Understood.
keep our pricing
Understood.
of
Got,
that level.
got the
Yes.
idea. Got the idea. This is what I think what Sting also used. Sting used to attract a lot of
Yes.
youth.
Many brands do this. Yes.
Understood. I wanted to check if you knew that concept or not. Good concept, I must say, on the Tata outlets like retail and Chroma.
Yes. Yes.
I would have liked it even better if you would have thought of if there is Tata Tanera, Tata Tanishq, cloth brand,
Yes,
sari, if there are
yes.
shops.
I
If you
mentioned
can,
that
yeah, if you
Tata
can,
retail touch points,
yeah,
everything
yeah,
will
if you
cover.
can encourage them to open, so around 50-55 lakhs rupees, and open a shop and run it as an innovation or experimental shop. If it doesn't work, because you anyway have a Tata group
Yes, yes,
trusted person in Kota who has been running a Tata, suppose Tanishq, for past 30 years. So for him,
mhm,
spending another 50 lakh rupees is not a big thing. But for you, it will be, instead
yes,
of looking for a new vendor who will come with new way, you can ask them to do that kind of differentiation. Usually, that's how you can grow across vendor network. When you mention
yes.
that retail and Chroma, where have you mentioned that part, retail and Chroma? Which part
So
of the
this
screen?
on this side, Starbucks Mini Flex, they
Yeah,
should in the Tata retail touch points like Chroma, Tata outlets, every Tata outlet,
yeah,
they should have a micro cafe for the people who are coming in the store, so that they can experience that thing.
yeah.
Their cafe
So
also.
that's where you can add brands like Titan and other
Okay.
Titan I Plus and those brands as well. So the point is you are leveraging the trust of Tata, or you can, why
Mhm.
not Tata Motors?
Yes.
For example, I'm just giving an idea that if you have
Yes.
trusted
Yes.
people in all the cities where you are going there, so then if you send your own near and dear, you can tell from if a friend is living there, you can say my near and dear is going. Can you go and take a look? There's a railway station. They'll go and take a look for you, right? In the same way, you
Mhm.
have trusted people in all the places where you are growing. You can say that my new son called Tata Starbucks is going. Can you take care of that? Tata Motor Shop has been there for past 70 years, for example. They will say, okay, we'll take a look, or we'll help instead of driving. So that will reduce the cost even further, because when you're looking for pricing and vendor cost, that will be biggest cost in a tier 2 tier 3 city. Having trusted vendors
Mhm.
who will run it for loss, not much profit for the next 2-3 years at least. So that's the idea.
Mhm.
Apart from that, it's very well thought out, and I like this part of piggybacking on your existing trusted
Birla Institute of Management and Technology.
Okay, let's get started.
So, a very warm afternoon to each one of you present here. Today, I, Anushka Singh, along with Ujjwal Rastogi, are here to present you the case of Tata Starbucks and how we strategize it to scale to a thousand store target while capturing the tier two and tier three cities, along with maintaining the essence of Starbucks, Tata Starbucks, along with it. So initially, when we came forward to the problem, we wanted to categorize it in a proper manner. Hence, we used McKinsey 7S diagnosis technique to elaborate in six different channels, right? Starting from structure, system to strategy and shared values. So for the system, we made sure that we should use a POS system as well as CRM segmentation for each and every store, right, starting from the tier 1 to tier 3 stores as well. For style, we wanted to maintain a strong data governance and Starbucks global culture, providing good strategic stewardship. For staff, we need to make sure that all the staff is centrally trained to have a constant experience from the tier 1 to the tier 3 cities as well. For the skills and strategy, we had that the from the barista to each and every small staff should be skilled enough to provide an experience that is Starbucks known for. The strategy that we look forward for was to maintain a coherent tier wise segmentation strategy and map formats for the demand. The structure we wanted to follow was a playbook style structure in which we will provide a proper SOPs for the stores in tier 2 tier 3 cities as well. Now coming to the competitor landscape, we initially have Cafe Coffee Day and Mec Cafe. So as we know that Coffee Cafe Day and Mec Cafe operates at an average order value of 150 to 190 rupees per order. Hence, they are in a middle range structure. They operate as in a cafe and kiosk format as well. The major strength of these are that Cafe Coffee Day have a huge presence in tier two cities, and for McCafe, it runs on a piggyback format with the McDonald's outlets as well. Hence, has a great footprint. The about Blue Tokai and Third Wave Coffee, they are having a good footprint of Gen Zs and are able to capture a lot of tier one cities. However, having a good higher average order value, while they have higher COGS as well as small footprints in tier two cities and a few areas. Now, the generic coffee stores that are present in a local area, they have lower average order value, but also they are facing a problem in scaling their particular stores. Now, coming to how we would select the tier 2 and tier 3 cities, the following are the key performance indicators like a cafe density in a particular area, how many cafes are present in that particular area, the affordability index, which is the ability to afford a particular product of the population of that area, the real estate feasibility and delivery penetration, how penetrated the city is for the quick commerce and delivery applications. The growth velocity and brand affinity score will also give us a key insight about which city to choose. Now we have also made a mock-up of how a kiosk would look in comparison to a full-size store while maintaining the luxury like feeling, a borderline luxury feeling of the store, and maintaining the legacy of Starbucks. So for tier wise testing system, we would test some uncaptured tier one cities would be tested for full cafes as well as Starbucks Express cafes, which will be a smaller cafe rather than a full size cafes. Tier two cities would be tested for express cafes, a smaller version of the Starbucks cafe, as well as mini and dark store system. So, additionally, tier 3 cities, we are looking forward for a mini Starbucks cafes as well as kiosk systems in malls and inside transit areas. Now, as we talk about revenue expansions as well as maintaining the legacy and brand vision of the company, we would be initiating with a dark store setup as well. So for maintaining that, we would initiate an application where we would have order ahead and priority based pickups, healthy options as well as predictive reordering. But our key USP would be the AI barista that would be in our application called the Melusina, which is visible on the Starbucks logo as well. So it will give a feeling of ordering on a store, but as in a dark store format. So when we map the customer journey of these stores, we can clearly of a basic comparison between the express store and a kiosk. We see that a person would observe or be aware about the store while walking past it in an express store format. But in kiosk, we will be able to get aware, or we will be able to grab attention while people coming to the malls or transit areas as well. Now, we will always carry out the format, the legacy, the flagship format of the name call out, which is a very flagship program of the Starbucks stores, and it is looked after and it gives the view.
Anushka, you have gone on mute. You have gone on mute. You have gone on mute. Please unmute yourself.
Is it audible now?
Yeah, it's audible now.
Okay, I'm really sorry. So for the ordering format and for the pickup system, we'll have the name call out system as well, which is common in all the Starbucks stores. The consumption pattern would be a bit quick for kiosk and a bit laid back for the express store system. Now for attraction and satisfying the customer, we have followed an flywheel framework, right, starting from activation to attraction to engagement and delight of the customers. So we will attract the customer, engage them using high impact brand storytelling, and delight them using a small creation of small moments while they are in our cafe. We will also introduce 199 menus to capture multiple customers in tier 2 tier 3 cities, so that we'll have a higher footfall and good adoption rate at the initial days. So we have also given a mock-up of what products or pre-packed products we'll be offering, so that to be able to afford those products in that store and also have a greater footfall. Now I would like my friend Ujjwal to continue for the financial outlook.
So let me walk you through our financial plan. So slide with the numerous number of tables. So we are starting with the pricing optimization. Here, the idea is to make Starbucks more profitable without losing customer. So in tier one cities, we are keeping premium pricing because the people are used to it. And but tier two and three cities, we are using a value pricing and offering a bundles like a morning combo, student packs, and afternoon snacks. So these bundles make people buy one more extra item, and which also increases our revenue by 8 to 12%. We also remove the low selling items and will push the high margin drinks, which will improve the contribution margin by 2 to 5%. So we have also given a unit economics waterfall, which will like help us to understand which costs are too high and where we can improve the profitability. Now coming next to the store format economics table. This is the like biggest lever in our plan. So like a flagship store is the most and it takes the longest to break even. But a compact cafe and a micro kiosk, which we are proposing in a model, need much less investment and can be break even much faster, almost half of the time. So the by mixing the format, Starbucks can grow faster and make money faster. This is especially for useful for tier two and tier three cities where the rents and demands are high different. So now coming to the roadmap of like how we are going to achieve a milestone of 1,000 stores. So the our strategy is to test new format, build the base, and then scale further to the expansion. We start by testing different store formats, improving technology and optimizing layouts. Then we expand into the priority cities, roll out successful formats, introduce new menu ideas, and build a dominance in tier 3 market. As we scale, the automation and AI helps reduce cost and speed up our operations for the kiosk and the compact cafes. So this step-by-step process ensures that we reach a milestone of 1,000 stores in a controlled and a profitable way. So finally, we have a financial snapshot which shows that we'll be increasing our revenue from 1,277 to 26 to 2,800 with a net profit from a like a negative EBITDA to a increase of like almost 11% to 6 to 8% of EBITDA margin. So all this is possible because of the right mix of pricing, small formats, and a better cost
Sorry
control.
to interrupt as
Uh,
well. The time is up. You can take next 20 minutes to 20 seconds
yes,
to wrap.
I was on my conclusion. The floor is now open for the question and answers. Thank you.
Good work, Ujjwal, and good work, Anushka and Ujjwal. Um, can you go back? So I really like this approach of breaking down the pricing. I was talking to one of the contestants in the previous team about the same this part. Couple of questions here. I see. Can you go back to the first slide, please? The slide where you had kiosk example.
Yes, sir.
Sure, sir.
Yeah. So first, problem understanding is good. Mapping to strategy is McKinsey 7 is kind of dicey because some were not matched. But you could have thought, or maybe you would think, a value chain analysis. Are you folks in PGP 1 or PGP 2?
So actually, we are currently in PGDM International
Yeah,
Business.
so first year or second year?
First year.
First year.
Okay, understood. So in advanced strategic management, you will learn about value chain analysis when you have it's Porter's value chain analysis. If you have read about it, because you have hinted it a little bit because you're trying to do dark stores, so you're trying to reduce costs and that part. In the front end, also
Yes,
you
sir.
have thought about it to improve the front end, back end. So you're completely changing the entire value chain. So just for your input, a value chain analysis would look a better suitable than McKinsey 7S.
Absolutely, sir.
That could be
Absolutely.
that's one input here. Uh,
Thank you for the input, sir.
Second question here is when you looked at, can you go back to the next slide, please?
Sure, sir.
Yeah, here. So here, when you looked at the activation, attraction, delight, and engage, have you looked at any particular in marketing 4.0? Kotler talks about netizens, women, young people, and those. So I don't know if you have done.
Yes, yes, sir.
So have you
Yes, we have.
targeted?
We have.
Have you mapped these to those target segment, young netizens, women, and those people?
No, not specifically, but we have looked forward to capturing a certain amount of population, say Gen Z or youngsters initially, and then coming towards the working class people who are often working from a Starbucks store. So having to engage them will also be a part of our plan. Additionally, the delight part of it, especially in the tier three cities, making a small memorable moment, or say having the call out name ordering structure would be falling into that structure as well.
Understood. Because you have this pre-order structure of dark store here on the app and the
Yes.
Melusina. So you would have. I just wanted to check if you've done the primary research to map these advanced AI feature which get good likers from a particular younger segment who want to experiment. Number one. Number two.
Absolutely, sir.
You talked a bit about the dark store. Would you
Mhm.
see usually if Starbucks, Apple, the larger brands are always in your face. They have a halo. They have a visual cue.
Mhm.
I heard you use the word cues. Have you
Yes.
studied the brand impact when you have a dark store as well? For example, dark store is by Swiggy and Instamart and Blinkit.
Yes.
So, how do you have you done some kind of study or some that you can say in a minute or two, or any kind of market research on such a premium brand running a dark store for
Mhm.
immediate fulfillment? Dark stores are for Zepto, so
Yeah.
7 minutes. So how does that map to Starbucks? Only the dark store concept.
Um, so generally, like the companies fails because they don't use the correct location while forming their like dark store. Then they also overestimate the crowd which they are going to cater.
So
So
understood.
we
Got the
first
point.
will
Sorry.
analyze a time.
So sorry for interrupting. The moment
Yeah.
that his video comes on, Gaurav, I know I'm stretching. I'm not rude. I've told that to almost everyone. But the point is understood. So
Yes,
a
sir.
lot of people assume I only have 2 3 minutes. A lot of people assume that a smaller tier city will not have
Mhm.
at all spending people. Even if 200 people come to a store, 180 people over 30 days, it's 5,000 people. So if so, that's all that a store needs to break even for monthly costs. What you are saying is there are
Exactly.
people they're not at even in small city at particular location you can go and pick it up. Can you go to the final slide, please, just for just last input?
Sure, sir.
the numbers part. Yeah, here. So here you mentioned jump on the store EBITDA next profit here to 136 to break even and then revenue growth. Have you done any sensitivity analysis? Number one. Number two, you mentioned a monthly revenue of contribution margin of 18.4 lakhs there. The monthly revenue is missing for Express Store. Is it a
Yes.
known omission or what is the difference between those two revenues?
So basically, we have given a unit economics for the full store. That flow chart shows the contribution margin. However, we should have been adding a compact store as well, which is like missing from our side. And we have taken the revenues from the actual Starbucks financials that they are having currently around like a loss of net loss of net loss of almost 136. And this model, like we
I'm
are
talking
not
about the
saying that
store
we'll be
economics. I'm talking
fully.
about the store economics. Anyway, I got the point
Yeah.
that from the store
Yeah.
side, if it is profitable or not to make new stores.
Yes.
Yeah.
Student pack, afternoon refuel, understood. Yeah, I'm good. Over to Gaurav.
Okay. Thank you so much, team. Thank you. It was a nice presentation. And thank
Thank
you
you
for
so much.
participating in Consultimate 5.0. You guys can leave. We'll then get the next time.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
guys.
so much for giving us
Thank
this
you. Thank you so
opportunity.
much.
Thank you, guys.
No problem. You're welcome. Hello, Vriddhi. Can you hear us?
Yeah, hi, I can.
Okay, Vriddhi. So yes, welcome to the finale of Consultimate 5.0, and thank you so much for participating. We have Naval Singh as judge for this finale, who is also a senior consultant in public sector and an alumni of IIM Indore. We have honored, we are honored IIM Indore competition for this competition. Thank you so much, and Vriddhi. So all the best to you. I request you to share your screen, and while you share your screen, I'll repeat the rules once more. You'll be given 10 minutes for the presentation, and as you're a single participant, after 8 minutes, I'll interrupt you, stating that you have just 2 minutes left. And after 10 minutes, you'll have a hard talk. Okay. And after that, you will have 5 minutes for the Q&A.
Got it.
Okay, great. So let me know when you're ready so that I can start your time.
Yeah, you can start it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, so let me begin with the question. Should Starbucks scale in India by opening more stores or by opening the right stores? Because India isn't one unified market. It's 80 to 100 micro markets inside every major city. In Gurgaon, Cyber Hub behaves like Dubai. But drive 3 kilometers to Old Gurgaon and it behaves like a tier 3 town. If we treat India as one market, we fail. If we treat it as micro behavior clusters, we win. Good afternoon, Judge. I'm Vriddhi, and today I'm here to show you how Starbucks can scale in India intelligently without losing its premium soul. The challenge is simple. Starbucks wants to reach 1,000 stores, but the profitability collapses the moment we enter tier 2 or 3. Even though rents are cheaper than metros, revenue shrinks faster. AOV drops 20 to 30%, footfall turns volatile, and cold chain reliability drops. We evaluated three pathways: stay fully premium, go affordable, or adopt a hybrid. And the data was unambiguous. Only a hybrid model can unlock scale in India without damaging brand equity or profitability. But scale without cost discipline is dangerous. So before expansion, we rebuilt the entire cost engine. We shifted to multi-role baristas to cut FTE from 4 to 2 to 3. We created regional training pods to standardize quality and reduce training cost by 30%. We simplified equipment, cut SKUs by 20 to 25% in tier 2 and 3, and adopted a pilot first, commit later real estate model using 3 to 6 month pop ups, which can save 50 to 70% of sunk capex when locations misfire. Now, with a strong base, we built a three-layer expansion strategy. Layer 1 is a tiered store portfolio focusing on customizing store formats according to the tier behavior.
Tier 1 metros get flagships and premium cafes. The Apple BKC strategy, where large 2 or 3K square feet stores anchor the halo and preserve pricing power. In Tier 1.5 commuter belts from Gurgaon, Noida to Mumbai's WEH and Bengaluru's ORR, the opportunity is massive. These areas earn Tier 1 incomes but operate on Tier 2 rents, making drive through plus compact lounges incredibly profitable. They have predictable AM/PM commuter peaks, low artisanal cafe presence, and consumers who want fast, reliable coffee on the go. This is why Tim Hortons places 60% of its stores in commuter corridors and why this could become Starbucks' highest ROI format in India. Neighborhood cafes in Tier 2 with dine-in delivery and local heroes tap into rising middle-class cafe culture across premium residences. Lower rents and 30 to 40% delivery share drive fast profitability, similar to Chayo's strong Tier 2 hybrid expansion. Due to high Swiggy Zomato penetration, Tier 3 towns get micro stores and delivery only kiosks. The Rebel Foods model, low capex delivery led and hero SKU focused. Layer 2 is all about micro market precision. Inside any metro, just 2 to 3 kilometers can change rent by 4 to 8 times, competition intensity and AOV by 25 to 40%. So instead of expanding in Bengaluru, Starbucks must expand in Whitefield or Phoenix Mall catchments, areas proven to deliver premium behavior. Alongside this, highways and transit corridors like NH48, NH44 offer predictable AM/PM demand, low artisanal competition, and fast payback through drive-thrus and express kiosks, similar to CCD's best performing stores. Layer 3 is the unfair advantage, the Tata ecosystem. We place mini Starbucks pods inside Tata Tanishq, Croma, Tata Motors EV showrooms, reducing real estate cost by 40 to 60% while tapping affluent, high intent customers who already spend 20 to 45 minutes inside these stores. This mirrors Mercedes or Gucci cafes that deepen brand immersion. Alongside this, Starbucks kiosks with subscription options inside co-working hubs like WeWork or SmartWorks tap India's 25 to 30% year-on-year co-working boom, where employees buy coffee 2 to 5 times a week. Predictable weekday footfall and shared infrastructure make this a high-frequency, low-cost growth engine. Our menu strategy starts with the AM/PM daypart menu. AM coffee consumption is rising 20 to 25% year on year, especially in commuter belts. So we focus on fast brewed coffees, breakfast wraps or bundles, and PM consumption accounts for 60 to 65% of India's cafe spend. So we emphasize iced coffees, dessert pairings, and social beverages. The local hero strategy ensures each store keeps a universal core menu but adds 2 to 3 specific favorites like a filter cold brew in the south, roast pista in NCR. To stay ahead, our future proof menu brings matcha and kombucha, two categories growing at 80% year on year and 25 to 30% CAGR respectively, plus protein cold brews for fitness focused metros, making options like rose matcha latte, hibiscus kombucha a natural fit. We offer bundles, subscriptions, and new coin rewards that can be spent across Tanishq, Chroma, Big Basket, or Tata Motor showrooms, creating a multi brand loyalty loop and boosting AOV by 12 to 18%. Finally, predictive pricing and SKUs dynamically adjust menus by store format and micro market demand, improving margins by 5 to 8%. In short, we are not scaling Starbucks by geography, we are scaling it by behavior. And that is how Starbucks wins India without ever losing its premium soul. Now that we've identified what Starbucks should build, let me show how we actually get there. We begin with phase zero, the 2025 foundation year. Before scaling, we map India into tiers and 3 kilometer micro markets based on income, commute patterns, cafe culture, delivery penetration. We create SOPs for every store format, flagship, and drive throughs. We set up the core enablers, that is SQ simplification, bakery hubs, and partner academies to maintain consistency. Phase 1 is 2026, in which we will capture the South India, the region with the highest coffee familiarity and the lowest behavioral friction. Bengaluru, Hyderabad, and Chennai become anchor cities. We open flagships in Indiranagar and Jubilee Hills, neighborhood cafes across Whitefield, OMR, and high throughput drive-thrus in ORR. The menu is regionalized filter cold brew, jaggery latte, and butter bun pairings, supported by a strong AM commuter menu. We track AOV, AM/PM split, delivery percentage, and drive-through speed. By the end of this phase, we reach 600 to 650 stores. Phase 2 is still mid 2027, which moves into affluent commuter belts of Tier 1 cities, areas with Tier 1 incomes but Tier 2 rentals, corridors such as Gurgaon, Noida.
You have 2 minutes left.
Navi Mumbai, Thane, ORR, Whitefield, and OMR become priority clusters. Here we deploy drive-throughs, hybrid lounges, and metro kiosks supported by an AM/PM daypart menu. This lifts us to 750-800 stores. Phase 3 expands into high potential tier 2 markets like Surat, Mysuru, Nagpur, Vadodara, and others. We focus on neighborhood cafes and micro kiosks supported by cloud kitchen. And once delivery crosses 60 orders per day, we can scale the stores. Local hero SKUs deepen cultural fit like Kokam refreshers, helping us reach 850 to 900 stores. Then phase 4 is 2028, which unlocks frontier markets like Patna, Ranchi, Bhubaneswar, Guwahati, Shillong, Raipur. Using low capex micro stores, cloud kitchens, and a major rollout of 120 and 1 to 150 Tata pods inside Tata showrooms and co-working spaces. Menu is tightened to a 20 SKU high repeat set to protect consistency. This phase takes Starbucks past 1K stores. Finally, phase 5 is still 2031, which focuses on consolidation and intelligent expansion, refurbishing 300 plus older stores, tightening national SOPs, deploying predictive analysis, densifying major corridors, and expanding into 30 to 40 new towns annually, with Tata ecosystem adding another 200 to 250 pods and supply chain hubs, expanding east and central. Starbucks scales to 1400 to 1600 stores, growing fast. Now that we've laid out the expansion strategy, let me quickly show you why the numbers make sense. In FY25, Starbucks starts at about 2.26 crore revenue per store.
Sorry to interrupt, Riddhi. The time is up. You can take 20 seconds to complete.
Okay. With 66% gross margin, 14% EBITDA, and a 22 to 24-month payback. But as soon as the network shifts towards drive-throughs and all the solutions, at FY28, even with aggressive scale-up, stores maintain 2.1 crore revenue, but margin strengthen. Gross margin rises to 70%, EBITDA to 18.5%. Operating cost ratios also fall from 44% to 38% due to bakery hubs, simpler SKUs, and shared real estate. So to just submit, yeah, okay.
Let's just stop it here. I'm sorry. Let's just move to the Q&A. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for the presentation, Riddhi. You are from which college? I failed to write that.
Sir, I am from the Delhi School of Economics, Delhi
DSC.
University.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Chalo. Let's go. Let's see some microeconomics part that you have. Let's go to the unit economics. So what's that 1000 crore yellow line that starts? No, that's that graph. Yeah. With that yellow revenue, it starts at 1000 crore. Are you saying currently they are making 1000 crore in India? That's the current revenue of Starbucks?
Sir, this is what we've assumed as per the like the
No
estimates
problem,
that
no problem. I'm not grilling. I'm not Ashni Grover. I'm just trying to say, is that a current revenue? That's an assumption. So if
Yes,
it is 100,
yes.
if it is 100 rupees today, what it will be? It's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong or right here. Understood, because it's not 1000 crore. So that's the reason I was
Right, sir.
surprised to see. Okay, 60% of India's GDP is consumption, and that consumption engine is slowing. C plus I plus G plus an X, because you are from DSC. So I'll now go deep in macro and micro here. So consumption engine is slowing down, and you used a beautiful word called scaling intelligently without losing the essence of Starbucks. Do you think, I'll ask you a question now. Do you know about this government scheme called Udan?
Sorry if
No,
I'm not wrong, it focuses on startups.
no. Udan is a government scheme for setting up airports in smaller cities. So if government is setting up, suppose an airport at Ranchi, for example, if it's not there, it is there, it has an international airport. Suppose at Imphal or Kohima or wherever, whichever place. So suppose or Shillong for that matter, we have an IAM Shillong, but you don't know. So that could be a good source of data for you. So if the government is able to launch an airport in a small city, you know how many people will land, how many people will come out. Just open a store there. You will get free access to data because you have footfall data coming out of plane. So you know how many people will buy, and then you can do a pop-up store from that within the city. So instead of looking for data and estimating the data, the good quality data from airport is always there. So just piggyback on the Udan scheme so that you get free data. That's a free CMI for you, because you talked a bit about growth and tier 2 and tier 3 cities. So instead of giving these names or these localities, look what are the smaller airports that government is launching, where like 20 30. Have you seen these turboprop planes, which are not jet engines, turbo engines, a smaller airplanes, 20 30 seated planes? They fly from say Bhubaneswar to smaller places. So those, and then you could have put those names to match them, get data from where government is anyway pushing consumption. That's one point. The consumption is going where the Udan scheme and government anyway does feasibility of airport, so you anyway have traffic. So you have guaranteed proportion of flyers as a this part, and then you can think about Vistara and sky is the limit, because you talked a bit about. Can you go in the front? I wanted to see the Tata Motors part. Yeah, here.
Course.
So when you have the Mercedes example of Mercedes Me Cafe, you missed bringing in this perspective for Jaguar, because you have Jaguar showrooms. So Jaguar showrooms are good brand matchup and brand pullers for them. Instead of Tata Motors, that could be for that premium cities in Whitefield and others who have Jaguar showrooms. That's the one part. Final one question. You mentioned a bit about. Can you go to the next slide, please? Sorry, I'm just jumping because yeah. So you mentioned a bit about operating costs coming down and gross margin of this part, because you are from DSC. You know inflation, right?
Yes, sir.
So how do you justify, or how can you convincingly tell someone? So DSC is at par with LEC and Harvard, just for the folks who don't know DSC. Amartya Sen and others, the legendary people come and teach at DSC. So I have utmost respect, but that doesn't give any bias here. It makes just the evaluation stricter. Uh, have you figured out inflation of coffee when you are bringing up those gross margins increasing over 3 years? Simple mathematics, no rocket science.
Sir, honestly, for the calculations, no, I haven't.
Economics is all maths, no problem. Moving on. Uh, Previous slide, please.
Sure, sir.
Okay. Mutual halo effect, brand perception. Yes. Rent varies 4 to 8x within 2 to 3 kilometers. So the first point. So 8x rent variation in a tier 2 city. That means rent is suppose 8 lakh rupees versus 1 lakh rupees. Is that backed by data, or is that an assumption?
So it is an assumption. Maybe it won't be 8x in most parts, but like I took the example of where I put up or where my college is,
I
Delhi
know.
School of Economics.
You gave the
Yes,
example of
sir. So
Gurgaon and old Gurgaon and those part. I got the concept part, but the jump is understood. Okay, I think I have all the answers that I wanted here. A good part is you aligned with co-working spaces. That's a place where a lot of people want to go out and spend. It came out as a third place in the US where it was started, especially in Seattle and other areas. Home office at the third place. So bringing that concept back. Piggybacking on Tata is another good example, because I've been saying that to previous competitors. They missed out on the Jaguar part. You claim very close and still missed. So a bit of bonus for this part, but still you missed the most premium part. So Taj Mahal Palace in Mumbai with 48,000 rupees per night as a room rent, starting room rent, and then Jaguar are the most expensive brands of Tata. So you just have to tag those along with them. Thanks over to SAC coordinator Gaurav and Bhavisha. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Vruddhi. It was an amazing presentation. Thank you so much for participating in Consultimate 5.0.
thank
Uh,
you. Thank you so
Aditi?
much for the inputs. They were like I will dwell more into. Thank you. Thank you so much.
No problem. You're welcome. You can leave the meeting. We'll get in the next team.
Hello, SIBM
Hello.
Pune. Yes,
Hi. Hi, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Nayanika ma'am.
Yes, so hi, Audrey. First of all, welcome to the final round of Consultimate 5.0, and thank you so much for joining us today. Let me briefly introduce you to our judge, Mr. Naval Singh. He's a senior consultant in public sector and an alumnus of IIM Indore. We are very honored to have you with us as the judge. Thank you so much, sir, and all the best to you. You can now start presenting your deck, and you'll be given 10 minutes to present, and you'll be reminded once after 8 minutes that 2 minutes are left, and then a hard stop at 10 minutes, and then followed by 5 minutes for Q&A. Okay, sure. Okay.
This
Yeah,
is
sure.
this is
All the
Team Blue,
best.
right? This is Team Blue, correct?
Yeah, I am Team Blue. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Is my screen visible? Yes, you're visible. Okay, so good evening, everyone. I am from Team Blue, and I'll walk you through a very practical and future ready strategy for Starbucks India to scale from where it is today to over 1,000 stores while staying profitable and preserving the premium Starbucks experience that we all love. So, starting off, let me begin by explaining why even a new approach is needed as of today. So, India's cafe market is growing fast, around 12 to 15% every year. But the real change is where the growth is happening and not the numbers. So, it is no longer just in the big metros as we had seen in the past decades. In tier 2 and tier 3 cities, they are exploding with young customers who want the cafe culture, the Wi Fi, the good food, the music, the ambience, and the whole package. In fact, more than half of all the new cafe demands now come from these smaller cities. At the same time, competition has changed. Brands like Blue Tokai, Third Wave, and Chai Point, they have expanded very aggressively using small, low-cost stores. And these low-cost stores make money much faster, and they open for half the cost of Starbucks, and they recovered the investment also very fast, around 18 to 24 months. Starbucks, on the other hand, still depends very heavily on large metro flagship stores, which are expensive to build and also take 40 to 50 months to break even. This works well in metros, but not in the tier 2 and tier 3 cities. We have also studied the Starbucks unit economics, and we have identified some challenges. First is the stores cost way too much to build in the tier 2 and tier 3 cities. Plus, the menu is too heavy on the premium segment. So, this kind of limits the frequency again in tier 2 and 3. Moreover, staffing and rental is quite higher than they need to be in these markets, and the store performance in smaller cities is pretty inconsistent. So, the situation currently on ground is pretty simple. India is ready for Starbucks to scale, but Starbucks must scale differently. So, to solve this problem, we are proposing a multi format expansion model. So, this gives Starbucks the flexibility to grow in any type of city without losing what makes the brand special. It is more of like an ecosystem of stores instead of just one type of stores that go same in every city. So, first, we are proposing a three-store format for the three types of cities. First, in tier 1 cities, Starbucks keeps its strong flagship and drive-through stores that it has right now. These stores build the brand and they test new innovation and maintain the premium feel that Starbucks gives. Second, for tier 2 cities, we recommend that Starbucks scale through express stores. So these are basically medium sized outlets, somewhere around 700 to 1200 square feet, and they cost 20 to 30% less to build, and they break even much faster. Third, in tier 3 cities and in college heavy areas, we are proposing Starbucks should use kiosks and small transit stores, so which need around 200 to 400 square feet, which are easily available. Also, low staff, low rent, and they deliver the fastest ROI. So in the mix of the 1,000 stores, what we are aiming for is 30% flagship, 45% express, and 25% kiosks or transits. So this kind of balances the brand accessibility and profitability altogether. Now, menu and pricing is also one major part to expand. It's a key part of the scale to get the menu right. So we are proposing a two-tier structure. First is the premium menu for the top cities, which currently Starbucks has in tier 1 cities. Second is the mini menu. So it will range from 199 to 299 for express and kiosks. So this is basically gives the appeal to the audience that is there in tier 2 and tier 3. we are also introducing regional drinks like filter cold brew in the south region, kokum refresher in the west, and west masala chai cold foam in the north. So these beverages are already trending, and Starbucks can help connect to the local taste. Another thing in Starbucks that we have missed out before is food becomes a margin driver. So increasing food from 25% to 35% of the sales gives Starbucks more stability, and especially in the value conscious market. Now, one main thing what I think of when I think of Starbucks is the premium experience. So even with the smaller formats, we do not want Starbucks to give that up. So we propose an experience kit. So what this basically is, it will consider all the signature aroma, the premium packaging, the music, the interior, all of it together, and all of it standardized. So even if you go to a kiosk, you'll still have the same Starbucks experience as you would if you enter a tier 1 Starbucks store. Now, when you talk about profitability, so our operating levers are very simple. So we'll be using standard staff pools, which reduces labor cost by 8 to 10%. We are also going to be integrating the supply chain with the Tata consumer supply chain, which reduces COGS by 5 to 7%. We are aiming to work on the right digital engagement, which should increase delivery plus ad revenue to 20% of sales. And most importantly, what we are focusing on via our modular rollout strategy is that the setup cost should reduce by 20 to 25%, and it should speed up opening by 30%. Now, this is not just a theory, all of which I shared right now is how QSR chains like Domino's and McDonald's has scaled in India currently. Now, we talked about the strategy, so let's talk a little bit about how what this strategy achieves. So, first is the store expansion part. By following the 30, 45, and 25 model that I talked about, the mix, Starbucks can grow from 500 stores to 1,000 stores by 2028 across 200 cities that we have aimed. Now, talking about the financial projections, revenue is estimated to grow from 1,600 CR to 3,000 plus CR, and EBITDA grows from 16 to 18 to 20 to 22. Now, food share rises from 25 to 35. This is something I spoke about last. We are going to be aiming at the food menu as well, alongside the drinks menu, and delivery plus app reaches about 20% of the total revenue. Now, most importantly, what we are aiming with this mixed rollout is the payback cycle shrinks drastically. So, for the flagship stores, it still stays as 40%. I mean, we are still following the same pattern that Starbucks currently follows. But for tier 2 and tier 3, tier 2, which has express stores, the payback cycles comes down to 26 to 30 months, and for kiosk it comes down to 18 to 24 months. So overall the portfolio comes down from 40 months that we currently have right now, and we will be following that in the flagship stores also, to 28 months in kiosk and transit stores. Now, why is this strategy feasible? First is operationally, modular designs and cluster based staffing are much easier to execute because it takes less of everything, less rent, less staff, less operation cost, everything of that is less. Financially, it has lower capex again, and thus faster payback period, and it's almost self scaling. And third is strategically, so the premium halo that we have of Starbucks, it remains the same through to the flagship stores. We are basically standardizing the premium feel across the flagship as well as the smaller kiosk and the transit stores. Now, this strategy overall positions Starbucks as premium where it matters and accessible where it can scale. Now, it is a brand with a format for every city, and it's a business that can scale without compromising on the identity. So, with this strategy, we can estimate that by 2028, Starbucks can become India's 1,000 plus store with a profitable and future ready cafe leader with a strong brand equity and manageable sustainable economics. Now, to conclude, Starbucks does not need to choose between being premium and being scalable. With this approach, Starbucks can be a tired India fit approach, and it can be both. Thank you.
So you still have some time. Do you want to?
Yes.
I think she still has a couple of minutes. Yeah. Sorry.
Yes, so she still has 2 minutes, near to 2 minutes left. If in case you want to add on something else, it's fine. Otherwise, we can move on to the Q&A.
We can go to the Q&A if you have any
Good.
question on it, and then I come
Very
back to the
good.
slide.
Very good. Finishing up on time, in time. Very good. So first one in the entire afternoon to do it on time and in time. Very good. Can you go back to the previous slide, please?
Yeah, sure.
Good. Um, So you mentioned a good mix of 45% express and 25% kiosk. Are these numbers a guesstimate or there's some data behind it?
So basically, I looked at how McDonald's and Domino's had scaled earlier in India, and it's a bit of inspiration from that, with a little bit of guesstimate from how Starbucks can scale. I mean, the customer segment is a little bit different. Starbucks is more premium than Domino's or McD, but then a little bit reference from there as well as keeping in mind the
Understood.
customer segment.
So, and the square foot of express and kiosk is 1800, 700, 200. Is that standard, or have you done some work on mapping them to McDonald and I think anyway Domino's? A lot of people order in, they do not go there. But how did you benchmark those sizes? Why 200? Why not any other number?
So for the kiosk transit in college, it was basically benchmarked to what is the shop size in a particular college. So we'll have canteens in colleges and how big are those. So if we wanted to position, let's say, open a Starbucks kiosk in a college, how much space can we get? I mean, we cannot have a large. So the college numbers are from there. The express numbers are basically a little bit 700 to 1200, a little bit insight
Understood.
into what
No
Starbucks
problem. No
does.
problem. Understood. So, colleges, student purchasing power, colleges will happily give land for free, and the only
Yeah.
cost would be the cost of raw material and barista, and maybe you can serve outside as well. A good point here. You mentioned Tata Neu, you're on the slide, but you haven't talked about it.
Yeah, so basically, Tata Neu already has this the platform for the to I mean they already have a platform to reach out to the certain segment of people. So I have somewhere mentioned that we are planning to tap into the existing supply chain that Tata Consumer has. So basically, it has roots in all tier 2 tier 3 cities, which probably Starbucks doesn't right now, via its other diversified portfolio. So Starbucks can use that to sort of reach and penetrate the tier 2 or especially the tier 3 cities that it hasn't reached yet.
Have you made this? Have you made this slide completely?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Okay. What do the three stars in the bottom mean?
So it was supposed to show AI, a
Yes,
little bit
that's
of
the reason,
Gemini. Yeah.
because I'm trying to
Yeah.
build the concept of data warehousing, data lake, because Tata
Yeah.
acquired Big Basket, 1mg, Tata acquired all those brands, so now they have petabytes of data. They're sitting on top of
Right.
that, they're monetizing, creating. Of course, they did not ask for a PAN card, so they can map that this is the same Naval who went to this Taj, wears a Titan watch, wears a Titan I plus I. So they cannot see my entire Tata journey, just like my Apple can see from my Apple ID that Naval uses iPad, iPhone, Apple Watch, whatever, a MacBook or
Yeah.
whatever. But the intention is to do big data mining and do that part. So that's the reason, because I'm trying to get, if you have done some kind of analysis from Tata Consumer Goods Limited and TCPL and Tata Digital, to understand why uh, going to smaller cities with that data is meaningful. Any primary research on this part, on the data?
Not primary, it's all secondary, so there is no primary
No problem.
research on.
No problem. Can you go to the next slide, please?
Yes.
I'll just take a minute. Yes. So you mentioned about a barista excellence program and attached 15% higher CSAT and lower rework and time wastage. Uh, how would you scale that to smaller cities?
So basically, the whole point of Barista Excellence program is that the drink that you buy, let's say in Bangalore, would be the same quality of drink that you buy in, let's say, Indore, right? So what we are trying to do is we are trying to standardize not just the quality of the drink that we are making, but also the whole experience. Like when you enter, let's say, a Church Street Starbucks, right? You'll have a certain aroma, you'll have a certain music running, you'll have a certain furnitures, you'll have the whole experience, right? The physical aspect of it. We are trying to standardize it, so even if we scale that down and let's say try to put it in a kiosk or in a transit store, you still feel the same, so you do not lose the premium aspect of Starbucks just because we are, it's a smaller shop, or we have reduced the menu prices a little bit. The experience remains the same, so that is why we are
Understood,
looking at.
understood, understood. I know Nayanika, that the moment she turns on her video, that means I have to stop because it's time. My time of 5 minutes has run out. That's what I understand. And she just turned on her video. to tell me to stop. But I'll just take the 10 seconds more. When you mentioned the reduce COGS by 5% by Tata integration, what is the integration you are talking about?
So I'm talking about integration in the supply chain part of it. So because Tata already
What supply chain? Be specific. Just coffee beans?
so
What?
So, Zata would have a delivery supply chain already integrated because of its consumer goods that are being sold in these tier 2 and tier 3 cities, right? So, what I am trying to bring out here is they can use the same supply chain delivery system. So, the procurement of coffee, but how does the fresh coffee reach
So
tier 2, tier 3 cities?
I have 5 Motors shop in Sialda. But I do not have Starbucks in Sialda. Or the Jalpaiguri. But I have Tata Motors shop. So I send nuts and bolts to Jalpaiguri. But I do not send. So the point is, are you trying to so because it's a strategy contest and strategy consulting contest, I'm trying to put that into cost leadership or differentiation or focus strategy. So you are saying that we can optimize cost by reusing the same component, the entire value
Same
chain of
component,
Tata.
same value chain will use, same suppliers, let's say
Understood.
same. I mean, obviously, you will need different materials. I mean, different. Let's say if you need an air cooler or something like that, that's different. But the value
That's
chain,
cold
the
chain.
suppliers,
Understood. Understood.
logistics can be same.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm good. Back to the team. Nanika. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Audriza, for joining us today and wishing you all the very best for the future. You can now drop off.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Same to you.
Okay, sir. So imagine this. It's 7 a.m. in Lucknow, and a young engineer grabs her coffee from a roadside vendor, not because she loves it, but because the nearest premium cafe is 45 minutes drive away from some distant mall. That 600 million millennials and Gen Z Indians right now craving that third place vibe, but settling for survival brews. Good morning, sir. I am Aditya Sharma with Oshima Rawat and Rhythm Narang from Team OG. Today, we are not just pitching a plan for Tata Starbucks, we are unleashing a revolution which is brewing scale beyond metros, turning the urban slowdown into national dominance. So let's dive in. Let's ground us in a number. India's cafe market is exploding with 381 million US dollar in 2024, hurtling towards 11.5% CAGR through 2033. Even the per capita income is rising with 1.14 lakh this financial year, fueling the discretionary spend on that perfect latte. But here's the heartbreak. Today's Starbucks with 450 plus stores in 70 cities are throttled by urban footfall fatigue. With 70% crammed into metros like Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, saturation, it's real cannibalization nibbling at margin. Consumption tells the story like 60% morning rituals are at home with instant coffee, 25% boost in cafes, and 15% in evening sips. Yet penetration under 10% in metros, but a dismal 2% in just tier 2 and 3. Root cause isn't just a slowdown, but it's a cultural charge. And the price sensitivity bites at 220 median, where 48% flocks at QSR under 200. So if we talk about the digital divide, only 14% customer apps engage. And coming to the legacy part, 77% claims to chai stall. Social sentiments are even mixed, like 25% are still focused on overpriced and local, and 35% people still love the brand status and the work-friendly allure. You might wonder, like with Blue Tokai at 400 crore ARR and CCD's value play, why bet on premium? Because Starbucks' view of what is at the global brand image. Tata's supply chain reliability and the first mover edge isn't replicable. Competitor erode at the edge, but we are the benchmark at 127 crore revenue. This isn't a slowdown. It's a signal that the India's coffee culture isn't metro bound. It's sleeping giant with 600 million strong waiting for the accessible aspiration. The opportunity massive. Specialty coffee 13.6 CAGR to 2030, 65% volume up our millennials and the Gen Z wave. Non-metro could hit 35% with financial year 28 with the loyalty app boosting. And the impact, not just store, we are democratic premium experience, turning roadside ritual to the community hub. Tier 2, 3 wouldn't pay 250, is it? No. Our elasticity show that the 10% volume drop per 50% hike, so we are threshold tested. 70% resist above 200, so we will adapt below. This scale, Tata ecosystem, hedge urban volatility and the cement Starbucks as the India's cafe king. So now next over to you, Rhythm.
Thank you, Aditya. Our strategy layers format by city tier to maximize density without diluting the brand. In tier 1 metros, we expand to around 550 to 600 stores through a mix of reserve flagships for exclusivity, standard cafes optimized for co working, and express grab and go format for transit hubs, driving higher ticket sizes and achieving break even in 18 months. In tier 2 cities, we build around 300 to 350 community centric lifestyle anchors in malls and neighborhood studios near offices and campuses, delivering medium tickets with a 16-month payback. In tier 3, growth focuses on 150 to around 200 aspirational compact premium cafes on Tata properties, reducing rent to rupees 50 per square feet and boosting EBITDA by 8 to 10%. Specialty formats like 24/7 airports outlets and night economy stores in BPO clusters capture high margin occasion, while dynamic pricing keeps peak MRP protected and adds 15%, that is happy hour discounts with 2 times loyalty stars during off peak. Rising volume without brand erosion. Our Starbucks with local lab brings local flavors, global buzz, and the filter coffee cold brew in Chennai delivered 30% more sales. In Lucknow, Thandai latte drove 12% more footfall, and in Jaipur, Rose Lassi Frappe uplifted tickets by rupees 30, and this reducing the COGS by 5% and increasing the utilization from 40 to 70%. The scalable day part model owns the clock with rupees 99 morning value combos and in afternoon workspace subscriptions and in the evening engagement format. Brewpass plan convert one-time visitor into recurring revenue streams. Packaged coffee, RTD beverages, merchandise, and corporate catering unlock additional to around 300 to 400 crore opportunities. Menu zoning addresses regional palettes, improving sentiment from loss 25% to profit 35%. This strategy isn't scattered, it's a profitable flywheel ready to execute at scale. It's a profitable flywheel that was our set. And now on that note, I'd like to hand it over to Oshima, who will take you through the roadmap, risk, and the feasibility. Thank you.
Okay, so most of the population is of ours is millennial and Gen Zs, and they crave premium experience and digital convenience. So our core thesis is a tiered capex model, which will enable a faster ROI and a scalable growth. So we start lean launching pilot kiosks and small express cafes in tier 2 and 3 to capture the demand with minimum investment. So just to quantify this, research forecast India's cafe chain will grow 13.3 per year through 2030, fueled by millennials and Gen Z's consumers. Now, in this environment, a unique economics stand out. Low capex formats, which is the kiosk and compact cafes, break even is approximately 12 to 24 months. And the high capex formats like flagship outlets and drive-thrus is like 24 to 36 months. Then they deliver a 3.4 cumulative ROI by financial year 28 and 25% EBITDA at maturity. This is amplified by the digital loyalty flywheel, as mentioned by Gridham, and personalized app reward through the Tata New app, and it creates a virtuous cycle. Each rewards just motivates a visit, which funds the next promotion. Now, the loyalty campaigns routinely drive double-digit sales. Conservatively, we forecast 12 to 18% of in basket size and 25 to 35% increase in the visit frequency. But a lot of risk is attached to it as well. Now, so let's just de-risk the execution. We deploy a 4-phase rollout. First is pilot, which will have a test formats in a flagship city. We'll have clusters, which is like 50 to 20 stores in adjacent markets. Then there is national rapid multi-city expansion.
Sorry to interrupt, Oshima. You guys have 2 minutes left. Thank you.
Okay. Then we have the clusters, which is like 15 to 20 stores, and then the national, which is rapid multi-city expansion. And the last is consolidation, which will optimize the supply chain, which is the internal thing. Now, this phase roadmap is a true scalability lever because it provides a CapEx agility. To prevent menu overload or cannibalization, we apply a SKU zoning. Small outlet carry core high turn item, while flagship cafe carry a premium offering. Now, our strategy strength is a triad, a clear strategic roadmap with a disciplined risk mitigation and a solid unit economic feasibility. Together, all of these function as scalability levers, phased capex deployment, and the robust supply chain hedges, and a loyalty fluid earning engine that optimizes the growth and catalyze the leadership. So, the brew success by deploying capital smartly and scaling with confidence. Thank you.
You still have some time left, but if in case you have nothing to add on, if it's fine with you, Naval sir, we
Yeah.
can move on to the Q&A.
Yeah, is there some part being cut off from the last slide? I think there's one thin, two emojis there and some part being cut off. I just want them to not miss out on showing something if there's some data there. There's no data there.
So, in the phase below
Yeah,
the
there is
phase.
something, but I guess it's not visible. I guess.
Yeah,
There's
because
some
Okay.
technical
you
issue.
can take it off full screen if there's.
Rhythm, can you check?
If it's not relevant, it's perfectly fine. So then we'll go back to questioning. Good presentation overall. Okay, you are taking it off. Yeah, good. Tata co-locate with West Side, yeah, West Side Mall and Mood AI loyalty personalization. Okay, understood. Can you scroll up to slide number 1, please? The beginning slide. Thank you. This is one of my favorite topics of microeconomics, the price elasticity of demand. Did you do some kind of little bit of primary study, any market study on this price elasticity, or is it just a representative slope?
It's a representative slope.
Okay, no problem. Good. What else? There's something else which caught my attention. Can you go to second slide, please? Next to this. Yeah, this one. Yes. Good points made here. Just to highlight that BPOs and hospitals, they are good in terms of volumes, but in terms of buying power may not be that big to purchase Starbucks. So you can consider that in terms of having a store or a pickup store or some kind of a pop-up store there. That's one point. You mentioned a bit about gifting and merchandise. I was hoping that somebody, we have had 5-6 teams come up already until now, they will talk a bit about the Starbucks gift card and the economy which is there. I think Rhythm covered this slide. Good work on recurring part. It's called Rundle, a recurring bundle. It's very popular and drives a lot of money, whether you are Spotify or anyone. Talk a bit about this recurring part, brew pass. What's your idea behind it, and a bit on the, if you have studied on the gifting and merchandise part, especially on the margins.
Yes, sir.
Or,
Sir,
or any one of you
yes.
can tell if whosoever is comfortable, because Rhythm presented it, so I asked it to her. But if but the question here is,
So coming,
yeah,
sir.
sure, please go ahead.
So we were talking about this catering and corporate solution, right?
So I was talking about the revenue, the recurring bundle, the Rundle part, the 12.99, 6.99. It's a good idea. It's a highly profitable and known source of money, whether it's Amazon Prime or any subscription. So it's a good idea to have subscription. But can you talk a bit about the profitability of such models? Have you done some work on that? Have you calculated that how profitable it is, BrewPass?
Yes, sir. To certain extent, it's profitable. And when we when we're trying to enter into a new market and we need something unique, which uh, captures the eyes of other people. So this is to certain extent, it's profitable. But we didn't did some of the survey and all that stuff. But
So did you?
So like the
Yeah,
blue pass.
yeah, sure.
Yes.
Please.
So the Starbucks is already having a subscription based kind of a thing, but that is actually like when we spend something, then we get stars, and then we can redeem them. But we are offering them a brew pass, which they can purchase, and then they can have the offering that the Starbucks will offer. Like for like we can have a gold pass, then we can have the regular silver pass, and then the premium pass, which will have a premium drink, which will they have. So this is the due pass concept which we had.
I mean, yes, sir, it will come with other benefits as well, which will help them grow in new markets. So
And what is the Star Disc
But now,
Pass? 9.99 per month. Day part model.
so we have divided the whole menu in three parts. So like in the noon, majorly there is more footfall than the morning and the evening. So in noon they can have a 9.99 per month thing, which where they can have a bundle. Like they can have the lunch with coffee. They can have anything customized. So this is our idea, because we are targeting majorly on tier 2 and 3 cities, and the average order value is relatively less than the tier 1s. So the bundle thing will generate more revenue and attractiveness among the people of tier 2 and 3 cities.
Understood. And corporate solutions are where you sell these machines to companies, and the barista along is there to serve as well, right? You have included that price there, and monthly barista
yes, sir.
visits.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
understood.
Yes, sir.
Can I go to the final slide, please? In the interest of time, we just have a couple of minutes more. Scroll down to the the numbers slide. Yes. Uh, you have written loyalty driven sales greater than 50%. Does Starbucks have a recency frequency monetary value, the RFM kind of a concept where they have measured 50% people to come back again? I think they also saw somewhere 21% repeat customer, yeah, 22% first to second visit, and then you mentioned 50% loyalty driven sales. So it means 22% people who repeat are the one driving half the revenue. If is that what you are saying?
So we were not able to get your question,
So
please.
if you see in the bottom, you have mentioned 20% people repeat from first to second visit. So that means they are the loyal people, right? And then in the
Yes,
top, you
sir.
have mentioned loyalty driven sales is 50%. That means are these 20% people driving 50% of the revenue?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what
Because they're in the loyalty circle,
repeat
so.
visits is what loyalty counts here, right?
Yes,
That's what
Yes,
I'm
sir.
saying. So half the revenue is coming from 1/5 of the people. And is this an assumption or is this number backed?
so it's assumption.
No more questions. Over to Bhavisha.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much, Team Oji, for joining us today. Wishing you all the very best. You can now leave the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, it is.
So
the time is also up.
Yeah.
So
Muskan, take a breath. I think you're out of the breath while speaking. You spoke really well. You were on time. So one of the two people to be absolutely bang on time. So hearty congratulations on that. But take a breath now.
Thank you,
Maybe
sir.
have some water. Uh,
No,
so slides are good. Can we go back to slide number 1, please?
sure. This
The first slide that you have made, ma'am.
okay.
Yes. Yeah. Post this. The executive summary I meant. Second one. My apologies. Yes. Oh, good one. So, you know that in the evaluation criteria, the first and the most important criteria is to have an understanding of the problems, which is a good part of this slide. You have understood the problem here. Revenue is dropping, per store revenue drop, revenue growth is also slowing down. Why do you think if company is adding store and the per store revenue is falling, revenue growth is falling, why do you think Starbucks is adding more
So,
stores?
So basically, they are not able to adopt. For example, if we are expanding in the tier 2 and tier 3 cities, what people like, if I am a customer, I may not go in Tata Starbucks. So if we are expanding, we need to look at the market and the customers. We need to think from their point of view, except also like I'm suggesting the tier 3 model here. Like I focused on different customers, like how we can target them, then how revenue can increase in that tier with that particular structure itself. So I think this is where the gap is.
Okay, okay. So you mentioned here that at 18% EBITDA there is no scale benefit, right? And you have mentioned which is in the first first rectangle in the top left. Then there are 220 stores in premium experience in metros, and uh, this is 2028 or this is 2028, I guess, right?
By 2028.
So 1/5 of the stores you are planning to be in the larger number. And have you mapped that to the potential revenue coming in from those stores? Total revenues?
Sorry, sir, I didn't get it.
So suppose you have mentioned 220 stores there and you have mentioned 3 crores per store revenue. So we can multiply and say 600 crores of 2028 revenue will come from urban cities. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So 600 crore revenue is coming out of, if you see on the top right, the financial roadmap, this you have mentioned 2300 crore to be the revenue, correct? So 25% of that revenue comes from 20% of the store. That means store contributes uniformly. 22% of the stores contribute 25% of the revenue. There is no disjoint growth. It's not that metros are contributing a larger portion. So do you see a disconnect here? So a few stores in an expensive place should be able to drive a larger portion of the revenue, and a lot of smaller stores should drive. It's like 20% stores in Bandra and Saket will drive 80% revenue, and 80% of the store will drive 20% of the revenue. Usually, for example, what here you are showing is that 22% of the store, which you have mentioned here, are driving 25% of the revenue, which is just 1:1 mapping. So why I'm mentioning is that the moment you scale it up to smaller cities, the price will keep on falling. It will, or at least they will just maintain it. So there is no margin of the scale benefit comes only when the top established one make disproportionate value for you, so that you can experiment. So this is a bit of disconnect. So is this a common spreadsheet that you have used? So all these are linked cells. So
Actually, sir, I have taken a help of AI also. I won't lie here.
no problem,
So
it's
to
fine. We encourage use of
so
AI as good. Yeah.
yes. So that's why I've tried to link them as much as possible so
Yeah,
that I can
no
understand. I'm
problem.
also trying.
No
So
problem. It's perfectly fine. But you could see that, right? That 1% is 1%.
yes, sir, I got it.
So it should be much larger. Bananika's video comes on. I'm scared. I'll just ask one more question.
Sure.
Can you go to the next slide, please, ma'am? The next one after, just please stop here. Here you have mentioned no, the one previous to this.
Okay.
The one which had the focal. Yeah, please stop here. So here you have mentioned very good analysis of BCG's growth share matrix, and you have showed
Yes, sir.
stars are as a tier 2 express stores, and these 430 stores 43% growing at 27% CAGR, but they are still having a EBITDA of 20%. I know you used AI. I told to the organizers to use AI and Gemini because it increases the benchmark. And I'll just take a minute, Nayanika. When I did my MBA 2013, 15 a time in those days, no AI. Writing a page of English essay without making grammatical mistake was a big thing. There used to be essay writers from Kenya who would write good essays for people who apply to Harvard and GMAT and GRE, So writing a page of error-free English was an achievement. Now it is baseline. You ask ChatGPT, it will write 5,000 words grammatical. So it has increased the baseline. So if I'm a professor at Harvard, and I will encourage people to use AI, and then say this is what AI does. Now do better than this. So AI has made life even difficult. Open book tests are even more difficult. So why I'm saying this is because if you see the key metrics of stars, third column, second row, you have mentioned 430 stores, 20% EBITDA,
Yes, sir.
which is the profit. So your stars are earning you only 20% profit. That's what AI can give it to you. That's where your judgment comes into picture. So who's my star? My star is someone who brings disproportionate money for me, or disproportionate
Yes,
revenue,
yes, sure.
right? Or if I am Geo, I'll
Yes, sir.
price it very low and wait for everyone to collapse, and then I will increase value. I should have some strategy. That strategic alignment is missing. We have done a lot of work. They are not mapping to either a cost leadership, differentiation, or focus strategy. So once you are able to map those, suppose you say the most profitable stores are my stars, or the most earning store, I'll just break even. Let the Mumbai store make me
Yes,
5
yes.
crore, I will spend 5 crore. I don't want any profit. But I want the highest earning, 0% margin, I'm happy. So it is neither earning you more because it's a tier 2, it's neither highly profitable neither. You can say that I am setting up a store in Darjeeling, I'll sell Darjeeling tea at 2 rupees, and I am selling it at 200 rupees, and the cost is 2 rupees, 198 rupees profit, right? 99% margin. So even that store will make anyone go very happy. That 99% profit margin, the cost is nothing. So that will be your star. Something which is very high. Here, nothing of that is coming out. I just wanted to point it out there. Nainika, over to you. So figure those as stars. Figure out your metrics: revenue,
Sure,
ROC,
sir, sure.
profitability, margin, growth. Something which is growing rapidly, much faster than anyone else. 2x, 3x faster. Those are your stars. Use AI, love AI, but then understand that AI makes it difficult for you to be the final judge, to understand what the numbers say. Okay. Good work
Thank you so much, sir, for your
good work.
like I got to know many things and I can definitely learn and improve it better.
Yes, definitely. I say all of you are winners because all of you have participated and done really well. Over to the team, over to the organizing team.
Thank you so much, Muskan, for joining us today, and all the very best for your future. You can now drop from the meeting. Naval sir, if you
Yeah,
would
thank you.
allow, we can move to the Q&A.
Yes, yes, please. Thank you, Bhavisha, and thanks to the team for this presentation. Can you go to the previous slide, please? Is that the final slide, or did you run out of time and you have some more content to show?
This is the final slide.
Okay, ठीक है. Go back to the first slide, please. Okay. Just
The
the
first one, Anubhav.
mhm. Okay, so you mentioned four part objective: expansion, price optimization, brand preservation, profitability. Can you sum up a problem statement that what is the understanding of? So what do you think is the problem?
The problem is that Starbucks want to expand into the market more. They want 1,000 stores by 2028, but even though the sales are increasing, this year the sales increased by 5%. Still, the profitability is decreasing because of the number of stores they are expanding into. That's why their loss is happening.
Okay, I'll give you a chance again. I'll give you all the entire team members. Think, take a minute, and you have three people to take 3 minutes, and it's a buzzer. Anyone can unmute and say, "What is the problem again?" Think through. Think to be
So
Starbucks India.
I'd like to take this question, sir.
Hmm.
So the problem here is with the brand itself. Like Starbucks is seen as an aspirational brand, so it cannot open stores left and right and let's say sell coffee for 100 rupees. This is the first problem of brand preservation. It has to preserve its
Good,
brand. Like
good, good. I only have 5 minutes of Q&A. So you have now hit exactly the bullseye. That is exactly the problem. Starbucks is a very expensive, highly premium commodity or item, but now they want scale. How do you scale? How do you scale? Can you
the
can you
scaling,
think
as you
of an
mentioned.
example of any product which scaled in India? Expensive product.
So iPhone has scaled a lot, but at the same time, it has reduced its like brand perceivability. The perceived cost of iPhone has got down since it has a lot of consumers now.
Are you the CMO of Starbucks or the CEO of Starbucks? Do you care about brand, or do you care? What the average lifespan of a CEO is 5 years. Do you are not
Sir,
so
if
you
I'm thinking about myself, I'll up the sales and take my salary and go out. But
yes.
if we think about the company, we'll have to think in the long term, which will, if we reduce the brand perceived value of the brand, it will impact the long term sales of the
Very
brand.
good.
So
Very good. Good point. So that means brand creates moat. So moat brings you above normal profitability
yeah,
returns. So even if an iPhone costs $200 to build, they can sell it for $1,000 with 80% profit margin because it's an iPhone. So
yeah,
now you have.
exactly.
So now you tell me. Now you have talked from long-term value on the slide. Where are you capturing long-term India picture for you? With 1,000 stores, what is the revenue you're looking at? Where have you captured it? You can go to next slide or whichever slide you want to. So you have understood as is, you have understood to be. Now you have to go from here to there, right? So where is to be state? When you will have 1,000 stores, what will be the total revenue?
Uh, Actually, we haven't come up with an exact amount, but in cost like warehousing cost and other infrastructure cost, sorry, logistics cost, we can say that the cost will definitely reduce in
No
the
problem.
next 3 years.
No problem. It's not a
But we can't. Yeah,
pressure
yeah,
question. You have not done the any strategy case usually starts with mapping as is, mapping to be where you are currently, where you want to go, and then
yeah.
how you want to go from here to there. That's where strategy comes into picture. Your cost leadership, focus, differentiation, everything comes into picture here. So if you have mentioned to go there is 1,000 store, so you can be more specific to go at 1,000 store with 40% operating margin and per store revenue to be, suppose per store cost is suppose 2 crore rupees. So on an average per store profit margin to be X percent, where urban stores makes X plus 20%, rural stores make X minus 20%, then average becomes X percent. So that level of specificity is missing. You have done 199 mini menu. You've also had a very large picture. The middle part is heavily aligned towards the geographical angle, say northeast, and you have done a good job. You have tried to align source to consumption, saying that they are, so you're basically trying to say that you're trying to keep the cost down, logistics down. You can even talk about local flavors, which are all good points. What my input here is that you can map it in future to strategic levels. What does actually that mean? So for North India, for you, what strategy does it impact? You can align to pest framework or VRIO or those, so that you will know how you want to take it there. That is the point I wanted to show. Have you done some kind of such strategic framework mapping? I see a hub and spoke. It's very common marketing model. So if it's a marketing consulting competition, it's a perfect slide. If it's a strategy case competition, there are strategic levels like SWOT, PEST, VRIO, value chain, Michael Porter's 5 forces. Have you done something? I want to give you an opportunity to present your thoughts.
So actually, why we came up with the hub and spoke is because we found out in comparison to point logistic method, it was a lot efficient, and it has been used previously by Delta Airlines and other companies as well. It was an American brand that delivers. I don't remember the name.
No problem. Well. Southwest.
So these brands have proved that this hub and spoke model works for deliveries and all.
Correct.
So it is the exceptional logistics method. That's why we thought it was better than the point-to-point method, which cost a lot more.
Okay.
That is it.
Okay. And you mentioned about third place, which is the founding value of Starbucks. Like in the US, home office in third place. In India, if you go to tier 2 or tier 3 cities, you have replaced third place to a order and pay, a convenience place. But we have replaced third place to university, I guess.
Yeah.
It's
so,
yeah.
Harshit, would you like to answer this?
Yeah, actually, sir, expanding 500 stores by 2 years into traditional flagship model is very difficult because they're currently running in losses. That's why we put up digital pickup only stores into tier 2, tier 3 cities. They are not the only store format which we're currently going into. They are part of it. Other than that, they in our layout we are also having 100 traditional Starbucks and 30 24-hour stores, etc.
Okay, so I gave this idea to another team just for your input as well. Think of it like as an Udan scheme where government is allowing airports in the smaller cities. So you already get data of how many people are landing from the plane and coming out. So setting up a small kiosk at the airport, you can piggyback on the data of airport instead of trying to look for your own data. So then at least those cities which government thinks are valid for having an airport should be a valid for having Starbucks, and when there's no flights coming on that day, you can always sell outside, setting up something outside and just keep it running inside for the heck of it. So that is something that I was looking for when it comes to data to segment and gain insights, because you started with data to segment and gain insights. So where are you going to get data from for smaller cities? Those 500 stores, that's where the data problem is going to come from. That's number one. And second point was Tata New. Tata New app has a lot of data coming in from multiple data sources. Tata, even Titan, Tata Motors, Tata Stores. So if Naval drives a Tata Safari, wears a Titan I Plus Chashma, and wears a Titan watch, all that data is stored somewhere, and those loyalty points get. So you can using that data to generate these smaller SKUs, pair sensitive, pilot test. So this vertical point has to be a cycle where data gets fed back and the model improves on itself. Just like you made a cycle of pilot trials, the price optimization also has to be cycle. There is no feedback loop here. When you mention continuous improvement, it should go back and hit the data again.
Yes,
that part and data warehouse or data store, that part is missing. So that's where you have because there are some marks for solution quality. So how do you deploy this solution? Is it practical enough? So when you deploy a solution, there's a data strategy, there's a technology strategy, there's a people strategy, how you hire baristas in small cities, how you train them, where do they stay, how do they maintain the quality of food or beverages. So that part needs a little bit of work. The implementation part. Are you able to get it? So you have to start with
Yes,
data
sir.
and then go towards how do you implement and get data from smaller cities. In larger cities, you have years of data. You can anyway think of this part. just final part. Have you anywhere mapped the revenue from larger cities, the profitability from larger cities versus profitability from smaller cities? Is it there on some place? The stores from larger cities, what percentage of EBITDA they are giving? Stores from smaller cities, what percentage EBITDA they are giving?
No, sir, it's not mentioned in our slides.
Okay, can you go back to first slide, please?
So, sir, it was not, I guess it was not one of the deliverables of the case, so we didn't. Yeah.
No problem. It's perfectly fine. It's not a. I'm just trying to see if there's any extra value that we can extract from large volume here. So here you have drive-through mini store. No, there's no capturing here. Understood. So again, you see digital potential in India. So that's where you have to build up the story of
Anubhav,
these.
can you go to the second slide?
Yeah.
So if you see the fine balance, we mentioned what is the difference between the high value products that would be served in like tier 1 metros, and what will be the difference between high accessibility, that will be the high volume in like tier 2 and tier 3 clusters.
And
you see that,
yeah, I got it. And I was looking for the percentage, what benefit it is on scale, no problem. And you are saying that because Starbucks will be the first mover in the northeastern place, so it will have a first mover advantage over Blue Tokai and Green Wave in those states. Understood.
It actually has, I think, 2 stores, but that's it. There are local like stores, but there are no like multi-chain model here.
And have you done some kind of primary research on the youth of Northeast? You mentioned you are from IFMR GSP. Where is this?
IFMR, yeah.
Okay, this is where?
Yes.
Delhi?
Sir, it's near Chennai.
Okay.
No, sir, it's near Chennai in Andhra Pradesh.
Okay.
It's on the border of Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh.
Okay. So have you done any market study on some primary data on why those places are lesser potential than these 7 sisters? Apart from local Arabica coffee, which you correctly mentioned. Any other, why they are better than your?
It's not that they are better, sir. The literacy rate and all is skyrocketing, but there are no Starbucks store there to
Okay,
see of.
okay, understood. Got it. So when the bulb comes on, it's a blue ocean strategy. Understood.
Yes, sir.
Understood.
In Chennai, there are already several Starbucks stores. Recently, they opened one more here.
Got it, sir. So it's back to, I guess, Bhavisha. It's 5:45, or do you have a minute as well? I don't know. Bhavisha or who is handling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, yeah. Thank you so much, Team Reckoning, for being with us today, and I'm wishing you all the very best. You can now drop from the meeting.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, team.
Thank you.
Thank you.